Welcome to the Saturday SmackDown. 5 p.m. EST. The main event is live. Untouchable Empire. We ready for war. I is Wolverine. NAPAH is Rogue. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'm a savage, untouchable empire. Yeah, we cause damage. Fatty hit the time and now I'm jumping in the cage, slicing up your whole life. Pure psychotic rage. 5 p.m. hitting and the tension is insane. Look me in my face, boy, I'm bringing all the pain. Best at what I do, yeah, I'm running this town. Step into the pit, get stomped to the ground.
Saturday SmackDown, we bringing the fight.
Super rap banger.
We shutting down the night. Untouchable empire.
We taking the crown.
Massive aggression.
We burning it down. Hit the bass, hit the synth, scream.
We killing the stage.
The ultimate team. You got power, power. You got power. You got power. Ultimate team. Think you got power, boy? I touch you in his mind. Sucking at your soul, yeah, I'm crossing every line. I ain't talking crazy, but your bars real weak. Saturday SmackDown, I'm the monster that you see. Fatty, get the clock ticking. Time is running out. Put you in the chokehold, leave you in a doubt. Untouchable queen, yeah, I'm holding the throne. Step into my set to get broke to the bone.
You can't touch the empire. I'm built for the kill.
I take everything you got.
Testing your skill.
The tension is peak. We swinging the weapon.
You stepped in my ring.
Now watch where you step in.
Saturday SmackDown.
We bringing the fight. Super rap banger.
We shutting down the night. Untouchable empire.
We taking the crown.
Massive aggression.
We burning it down.
Hit a bass
Hit us and scream.
We killing the stage.
The ultimate team.
Showdown. The smoke clears away.
Fatty shuts it down.
Nothing left to say.
Untouchable empire.
SmackDown over.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Saturday's SmackDown.
Damn, it's cold out here. You ready? Welcome to Saturday SmackDown, hosted by Fatty.
The content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
Hit harder than fists, where minds clash like titans. The arena awaits. From every corner of the globe, the bold and the fearless step forward, ready to battle with nothing but their voices, their wit, and their will to win. Here, it's raw, it's ruthless. No gloves, no rules. Just pure, unfiltered debate, and only the sharpest survive.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Untouchable Arena, this is Saturday SmackDown.
So make sure you tell the full details about the thirstiness and hungriness of these criminal that black women seem to be infatuated with and can't leave alone.
But yet, you want to present to the community that you have a straight man, that you're a straight man that care about women. So what I'm saying is, it's not adding up, my brother. brother.
You both.
But I'm a pander.
You do pander. You know you pander.
So am I telling men to do this and this now or pander?
You play both sides, Thanos, for your benefit. You're an opportunist. You play both sides.
And I'm not gonna sit here and allow a foreigner like you to tell me otherwise. Take your tree branch swinging back to Africa. You're not supposed to be here because your brain is not compatible with this program here, this country. It's not.
So all I'm saying is, if you want to do this right, come how you are. Because from my understanding, you throw out threats, you throw out a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know what empowering thing you're on, because you don't empower nobody.
I didn't empower you.
I'm higher than the show, and I don't have to follow
that's not how you debate. Right? The fact of the matter is you didn't substantiate them being the foundation for the black community. Now we talking about getting to the bag, and you're double talking. So the question either, man, is yes or no, are black people getting to the bag?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
Friends, welcome to a special edition of the Saturday SmackDown debate show. This is a very anticipated clash, been brewing for months, and we finally had the chance to have it. We are going to have a second and a third round on the NAPAH side, so make sure you stay tuned. We're going to promote it and make sure that everybody knows that we have a double header, but for now, we are going to do our side here on the Untouchable Empire Network.
The Untouchable Empire, baby.
Before I bring my guests and the debaters, I'm going to explain the rules very simply. This is a 2-hour debate plus 1 hour open panel. The open panel is for challengers, okay? The open panel is for challengers. Make sure, give me just a second. The open panel is for challengers. Make sure that when you come up, you have a challenge, okay? It's not to park the car. It's not to flirt with the debaters or to ask them if they think about what they think about the playoffs. It's to challenge the debaters. If you don't have no challenge, don't pull up, okay? The debate is going to be split in 2 parts. 1 hour and 30 of open debate, back and forth between NAPAH and Ali, and the last part of the debate, the 30 minutes, I'm going to ask questions to our debaters, and the people that send $10 and up are going to be able to ask the questions to Ali and to NAPAH, okay? Other than that, no Shadow Realm bounties, only for the people that are jumping on the panel afterwards, all that, okay? So, friends, I appreciate y'all. Let me bring my first guest and debater of the show, NAPAH SADAH. She is in the... How you doing, NAPAH?
Oh, I'm great. Peace to you, Fatty. Peace to your audience, to Ali. I'm great.
Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. And a member and founding father of the Untouchable Empire, ILKAN Ali, is in the building.
The Untouchable Empire, baby.
How you doing, Ali?
I'm doing good, man. You know,
You ready to go?
Yeah, I feel kind of hold on real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. That was God. He told me to take it easy on NAPAH. She already blacked out for the funeral. Now I just gotta.
Damn, that's crazy.
She already blacked out for the funeral. Now I just gotta give her flowers.
I'm wearing black for your funeral. Duh.
Oh shit. This is going to be a good one. Thank you very much once again for being here. I hope everything is in your favor. I just want to thank the sponsor of the show on the last show, Maisha. Thank you very much, Maisha, for always being kind to me and the untouchables. Thank you very much, Misha. I appreciate you. Let me put my camera now. Friends, can I close the cage? Can I close the cage? Can I close the cage so we can start this party?
Yes. Yes.
I feel y'all bit nervous, but I will close the cage. Let's start this.
Lock the cage doors at this time.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up.
You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
So tomorrow at 5 p.m., ladies first. And today, ladies first to NAPAH SADAH will go first. So let's go and have fun. NAPAH SADAH, let me.
It's time to
Which prom do you want to go first? NAPAH, men and women are equally responsible. You want that first?
Yes.
First.
Yes.
So our first prompt is men and women are equally responsible for creating single mother-led homes. Friends, our debaters have their cash apps rolling in the bottom and pinned at the top of the chat. Let's make sure they get a little bit of dinner money for today and lunch money for tomorrow, okay? The cash apps are literally rolling in the bottom. Make sure you support ILKAN Ali on ILKAN and Chub Sama on NAPAH side, okay? Go ahead, NAPAH, uninterrupted. Good luck.
Okay. Is it me or is it?
No, you're good now. You froze 1 second, but you're good now. You're good now.
Okay. All right. I want to say thank you so much again to Fatty for hosting this. And yes, we will be doing this again in some other platforms. But I want to say thank you very much. And to Ali, let's just get right into it. Single parent households in general are a real issue with our society. It has become an unwanted subculture, or a culture that we don't really want to happen. Let's go to the beginning and talk about the topic. Who is responsible? There are two people responsible, men and women, because men and women come together equally in consensual sex. That's my first point. We cannot say one is more responsible if two consenting adults come into a union and make the children. So extramarital sex, consensual sex, is two equal parties. So that's my first point. Second point is when we look at the dynamic of a single parent household, we have to look at the history of it in society. We can go back to the rise or the onset of single parenting, and that would be in the 60s, when families were suffering from abject poverty and they were hungry and homeless. Men were told, if you family, the marriage rate was the single parenting rate was very low. I'm going to say it was around 8% in that time. I can check the stats for you if you'd like, Ali, but they were very low compared to now, which are around in the 30s. So I digress. In the 60s, men were told, if you leave your family, you can have food for your family. Men decided, along with their wives, that's equal, to make that very tough decision to leave their homes. This brought on a sad, epidemic of parents not being in a nuclear family. We had single mothers starting at that time. What is similar, blaming women, I'm going to go and say blame women. What's similar to now, women, we had the feminist movement in the 60s. Fast forward to around 2010. By the way, the feminist movement was pushing, you can do it by yourself. You can go your own way. You can be a woman and be alone. That's the fault of women, right? Well, single parenting was at an all-time historical high. These are facts. All-time historical high in 2000, the 2000s, around 2010-ish. Why? Because we had men saying, you can go your own way. Do not marry women. Do not have women in your lives. It's called MGTOW, and it's the manosphere. And how interestingly that I'm debating on a platform that still pushes that rhetoric. So we have equally men saying, do not have women in your life. Do not totally become avoidant in your relationships. Don't get married to any women. And so single parenting has peaked. Was it not rising from the 60s to the 2000s? Of course it was, because going back to the 60s, women were told, you can do it by yourself. Don't you see the government is here for you? The government can do it for you. Get the man out. Remember, they both made the choice. The debate is not, I'm not blaming men only or women only. They are equally responsible. They, as a family, made an equal choice, and women and men continue because of the culture from the 60s going into the 70s and 80s. More people said, let's not get married because we don't want to lose that welfare check. So let's just cohabitate. And what happened? More children were born out of wedlock. More children are born without marriage. And when you see the stats taken by the U.S. Bureau, the Consensus Bureau, they are actually measuring single parent households by marriage certificates. I want you to keep that in mind when he comes in and starts talking about it's the woman, it's the woman. A lot of these women and men who are doing these, logging into the census, they'll be cohabitating. Now we will be able to distinguish between solo parenting, which there is no cohabitation, but guess what? 80% of solo parenting is the women, and then the rest, the smaller percentage, are men. We're going to talk about that later when he says men are better parents. But let me get back to the facts of equality. We have two consensual adults. We have systems that have been, unfortunately, sociological influences and societal issues that have affected us as individuals. You cannot, there is not one single stitch of empirical data, and this is a debate, Ali. I'm not talking about my feelings. I'm coming with facts. There is not one stitch of empirical data that says that one gender is responsible for single parenting homes. Not one. And if you can bring some facts to me, like I just brought for you about the welfare movement, the second wave of feminism in the 60s, the MGTOW movement, I brought you facts showing that is equal, men and women on both sides, because we are in a society that pushes us to survive, to function. And that is what is going on with single parenting, not one gender. We're not lopsided. We are in this together. We have to figure it out. And the last thing we want to do is sit down at a table and start blaming each other. Radical feminists blame men, and we get nowhere. What we create is a boy crisis, men being mistreated, men being treated unjustly by the judicial system. And then we cannot correct it by bringing in MGTOW in the 2000s. Remember, I told you the spike, the highest rate of single mother homes come around 2010-ish, in the 2000s, and that is the same time when the MGTOW movement, MGTOW, men going their own way, leave your families, leave your wife. And I will park my car and say this. Ali, I don't know how much more time I have. You said what, 2 minutes? I can't hear you. You're muted.
1 minute and 15
You can talk as long.
seconds.
Hey,
Yes.
Napah, you can talk as long as you would like to.
Thank you. So I'm going to park my car and say this. Ali, MGTOW is telling you to go your own way. You literally have said, if a woman doesn't put you as a priority, not the children, you said, if a woman doesn't put you as a priority, you should leave. You, my friend, are part of the problem because you're blaming the mother, the woman, instead of looking at them and trying to bring back the nuclear family. The nuclear family needs a mother and a father in the household. And we cannot say one is blamed for single parent homes. I just laid out the facts. Let's hear from you. Thank you very much.
So, ILKAN Ali, you have 10 minutes, but if you want to only take seconds, you can do it too. Go ahead.
So she already helped me win the debate. I'm not going to end the debate real fast based on what she just said, but she did acknowledge in a way that the men for generations had to take care of the woman and the children. But you admitted in your own statements that the woman picked herself. She picked education. She picked feminism. She picked separate sexual liberation. She picked self-love. She picked happiness. She picked the government. She picked the court system over her man. Men still pick the woman, and the woman still picks herself. So we're not debating, we are debating whether it's equal or not equal, but given the information that you're providing, we're not equal. So let's go even further with women, what women do with sex, right? A woman uses sex to leverage control over a man, or she's going to use sex to be the wife of a man. But a woman's desire, the modern woman's desire in 2026 is her desire to be a hoe is much stronger than her desire to be a wife. She'd rather lead herself to a life of single motherhood, healing, and having to find God instead of having a family and cooperating with the man. Okay. Second, women are the gatekeepers of all the interactions, especially the women who claim that women are God and women are queens, right? You control whether we're intimate. You control when we have sex. You control who will be the father. You control if a baby ever comes into this world. So if women marry before they carry, single mothers are impossible unless a man divorces her, cheats, and he leaves or he dies. The only time we're responsible, and I was happy you committed to that, equally so-called responsible, or what we're equally responsible about, is the fact that we're both consenting adults to sex. Everything else, a woman decides if the man has a say. So we're not equally responsible for single mothers. Most women who become single mothers, baseline is, I don't need no man. No man can tell me what to do. Sex, baby, then the demand for marriage to be taken care of. You're not even trying to be a mother or a wife typically. Instead of, I will be the woman most men want, marry, sex, then have a baby. So you can rebuttal that one. And I want you to answer that. If women married before they carried, is single mothers impossible?
You want me to answer now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. First off, you never gave me any empirical evidence when I asked you to offer me empirical evidence showing, experts, sociologists, psychologists, even some data from the judicial system. You gave me zero. But I will answer your question. You give it to me one more time about with women what?
If women only carry when they marry, it's impossible for single mothers to occur. Yes or no?
If women only married when they carry, you mean if there was, I covered that. Women, because of the onset with the LBJ, with the AFDC saying women cannot get welfare unless the man is gone. I covered that now people are having children out of wedlock and they're just cohabitating, not marrying. And yes, the problem is, remember I said they're equally at fault. I'm not like you. I'm not blaming one gender. Women should not have sex before marriage. And if they want to have sex before marriage, because they're going to, obviously, right? You shouldn't have babies. But newsflash, Ali, you even said, we're going to go back to the bare minimum. You said they're both consenting adults. Newsflash, men are having sex before marriage too. They're having sex with women. That's how they're having the babies. So again, there is my point in the argument. Equal. Men and women are having babies out of wedlock. And this is the problem. This is the cause of single parent homes. One cause, excuse me, I'm freezing. One cause. The other cause is divorce. The divorce rate. Okay, thank you.
I was saying, even though you're freezing, sometimes you are okay. So if something happens, I'll tell you.
Thank you so much. So the divorce rate, we're going to go back to some facts. I'm not giving my feelings because you said a lot of stuff that's, you know, just feelings, talking about women are gatekeepers of sex. This isn't some great Castle Grayskull, Masters of the Universe. It's relationships. You meet somebody, you both agree to have sex, period. It's not like she's the gatekeeper, may I please enter to the womb. It's sex, it's relationships. So I'm going to get back to the facts. There is, in the past, after the onset of welfare, because of the systemic poverty, all of the system of people, men not being able to get jobs. I'm talking about the 60s. When we then they said, we'll give you welfare. LBJ said the Great Society. These are facts, historical facts. He said, I can fix it. You're going to get welfare from us if you don't have a man, Ali. That is why having babies without marriage, not because women have they're keeping the troll under the bridge of sex. You may not pass. It's because people were able to feed their families without doing a marriage contract. Then generationally, Ali, you know, grandfathers, some of us, it'll be the fathers. Generationally, children continue to see, oh, mommy and daddy don't get married. Oh, mommy and daddy don't get married. The marriage rate declined. Divorce rate goes up. Single parent households people are still being born. People are still reproducing. So it's not because women are gatekeeping and guarding the vagina. It's because people know if they get married, they will have more financial hardship. They'll have more financial responsibility. And that gets me back to MGTOW. I don't blame men more than women. But in MGTOW, men going their own way, /red pill, /manosphere, it's all one group of one subculture, okay? They said, look, guys, I'm tired of women, us not having rights. Let's go our own way. Don't marry these women. Ali, don't you hear it? They say, don't marry them. They still want to have them. That's another subculture of the manosphere /MGTOW. They're called pickup artists. They still like sex, but they said, get the sex, but don't have marriage, okay? It's not because women are gatekeeping sex. We are creating people who are okay with just living together. And I'm going to put this on the table. Women and men are still living together, and that is being counted as single parent households. You have to specify solo parent households because men are cohabitating with women and they're having babies together, Ali. It's equal, my friend. I'll pass the mic to you.
So Ali has 6 minutes to reply. And after his interjection, friends, we're going to start to go on a back and forth, 1 point at a time. Let's not go on monologues, okay? Go ahead, Ali, and interrupt.
So I wonder point out to my judge, moderator of the conversation, that she's talking about the results of single motherhood. But I want to point out again that women control access to sex, who the father will be if a baby comes into this world, who will who they choose to marry, and they also will divorce as well too when they marry. But she did not answer my question that I asked her, so I will ask her again. If women married before they carried, would it be impossible for women to be single mothers? Yes or no, unless the man marries and leaves or she marries and leaves. If they married before they carried, would single mothers be impossible? Yes or no?
Single mothers would not be impossible if they married before they carry, because there's something called divorce and men leave. You said men should leave if women don't put them as a priority. So no, it's not impossible.
I gave context and the caveat. Would women start out as single mothers or wives if they married before they carried? I'll help you out a little better.
Okay, neither men or women would start out as single parents if they're married, according to the Census Bureau and according to society and law. So neither men or women. You want to make it just about women? I'm telling you, it's equal. A man would not be a single father if they married, and a woman would not be a single mother if they married. That is a thorough answer.
Do women desire to get married first, or they desire to have sex first? In modern society, are they going to have sex before they get married, or are they going to marry before they have sex? What would women rather do in today's society? Get married first and have sex, or have sex and then get married in modern society?
Okay, you notice you keep saying women. This is consensual sex with two people. So both men and women, I already mentioned that, we're in a type of culture now where women and men have seen for generations that people don't get married. So now it's not looked on shamefully like it used to be before the 60s. It's not looked at as something that you don't do. It's a societal norm, unfortunately. And they're both responsible, not just women. I don't know where you don't. Are these men ghosts to you, Ali? Are they like imaginary friends? These women are in relationships with men. There's two people. It's called consensual. So the answer again is women and men are having children out of wedlock, unfortunately, because the societal influences, not just women.
So I want to point out again. I will point out. I will give a little bit more context on something else. I will point out that you're not answering my question, and you're refusing to, and you're derailing.
I am answering your question.
So my second point, you've conceded to it, but you're being disingenuous. You won't say the actual answer. Women have over 20 methods using contraceptives or birth control, where men have 5. Women have a patch, the vaginal ring, implants, hormonal IUD, copper IUD, diaphragm, cervical cap, sponge, spermicide, Plan B. Y'all have over 20 forms of contraceptive or birth control. Men have 5. We have the male condom. Yeah. We have we can get a vasectomy. We can do the abstinence, like you can do abstinence, or we can do the pull-out method. Your 2 favorite ones that you can also do is deletions and putting kids up for adoption. I want to point out to that as well too. So again, women have as much kids as they want to have, and women will get pregnant if they choose to get pregnant, or they're choosing to not get pregnant when they want to or don't want to. Most women if women don't have no kids, they chose to have no kids. If a woman has 2 kids, she chose to have 2 kids. If a woman has 2 or 3 baby daddies, she decided that, and she made the decision on that, and she dictates that. Men don't have equal say. We may have equal say when it comes to consent and having sex, but we don't have equal say on the rest of everything else. So again, I will ask you again. If women chose to marry before they carry, is there anything men can do about it if they couldn't take it?
Okay. I'm going to answer your question, but for the audience, the debate is...
You didn't...
No, I'm going to answer your question. In fact, you could repeat it, but I need to let the people know what the debate is. Are men and women equally responsible for single mother-led homes? That's the debate. Now, you're asking me, women. I'll let you repeat I'll give you the mic back. Repeat your question, and I will answer your question. Again, I've been answering your questions, but repeat your question. You just don't like the answers because nobody likes like the piñatas with the bat. But
if women,
the truth. Ask me the question again. Ask me the question again.
If women married before they carried, can men do anything about it?
If women marry, you keep saying married before they carry. Are you saying have babies in matrimony?
They marry before they have babies.
Because I've already said that probably a good dozen times that men and women both are choosing married. There's statistics on this. This isn't my feelings. So you keep on saying if women marry before they're carried, I don't know. You're trying to put the debate on just women. If you mean if people married before they had sex, because that's more accurate.
NAPAH, can you answer both? NAPAH, can you answer both? Answer the first. Can woman get pregnant out of wedlock if they decide to get married first? And then you can answer the second one that you're trying to introduce so we can clear it up.
Okay, if women had marriages before they got pregnant, we wouldn't have single parent households when they have the baby. Am I missing something?
Okay. And now you can introduce the thing that you were saying about both.
We wouldn't have them. Yes. Is that okay? What? I am having a serious delay. I think I have too many tabs open.
Yeah, try to close a couple of ones because you are freezing.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Ali, this is the issue. Having sex without being married, and they have the autonomy. They're the ones that control having the baby. Let's say that. Women and men are having sex, but I get what you're saying. They're pregnant. They have more choices. They are for having a single parent household. On the other hand, men who with those 5 birth control methods, they consented to that out marriage. So they are also responsible. What the differences are, we can suss that out. But women decide to go ahead and have that baby, and men said, okay, I'm going to have sex with you. There's still equality there. You're trying to make it like, I thought you're anti-abortion. You know that people live together in marriage. It is very common. This is the problem of why we have single parent households, Ali. A man saying, you're pregnant, baby? You want him to say, have an abortion? What is it? You're so basically your logic, even though you're anti-abortion, is she could have had an abortion to stop that single parent household. The baby's there. They consented to have sex. Then they don't decide to go get married. They decide to live together. Those are a part of the statistics. They cohabit. In fact, more single father households are actually cohabitating with another person, usually a woman, and or their parents, usually their mother, because their mama was a single mother. It's a cycle. So again, you keep saying, oh, the woman has 20 different birth control methods. So what? You both decided to have. You didn't know
the breaking is actually the breaking starting to become a little bit stronger. Can you refresh real quick? Just a refresh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna refresh and let him respond to that. But the thing that I'm saying is,
no, NAPAH, is you freezing a lot? NAPAH is not being.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out.
Yes. Is it her or me, Ali? Ali, you muted. Is it her or me? It was her.
It's her. Yeah. She has the delay. When she's speaking, it's like is delayed on her side. But hold on, I'll wait. I don't want to speak while she's not here, so she hears it in case she says she missed something for me to rebuttal. But I want to point out to the judge and the moderator that she's not answering my questions, and she spends more time on deviating and deflecting and derailing from the question than the actually
I will
answer the question.
introduce the time clock after the first pause.
Yes, sir. I think she's gathering her notes right now, trying to figure out the rebuttals. Chat GPT, Gemini. I don't know why it's taking so long to refresh. My sister NAPAH. But I will say, nope, I can't speak. So I can't even speak on it till she gets back. I can't. That'd be cheating, right? Can't speak on it.
Yes, the clock is stopped. We're going to wait for a second.
Okay. Hey, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit Team Fatty's Cash App. Make sure y'all help Team Fatty reach his goals as well, too, for orchestrating this phenomenal debate, y'all. Shout out to NAPAH. Make sure y'all go subscribe to NAPAH. Make sure you subscribe more to my brother Team Fatty. If you're on my side, her side, his side, if you just tuning in, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all follow. Make sure y'all help the brothers and the sister reach our goals. I hope y'all are learning from this conversation. I hope you can apply it to your own personal life, and you get to see honestly who has the most power and leverage in most of societies, regardless of narratives that's created, propagandas that are created, and information that's being put out to society. There goes my sister NAPAH.
It's time to do.
Am I better?
Yes. So the first one.
Now it's black.
All this it's breaking up again.
Are you good now?
Can you can hear us, right?
I hear you. So
I want to point out the fact that you're not answering my questions, right? I want to point out that you won't concede to the fact that they have to marry before they carry. I want to point out that even though you have 20 more contraceptives and forms of birth control than men do, you still won't concede to the fact that you're more responsible over your body, and women have the most power over sex and baby making. My third, I would say, insight on this topic to add is that women perpetually claim that they don't need marriage, they don't need babies, and they don't need men, and they continuously fight for their independence away from men. Women fought for and still fight for liberation from men, even though men still fight to take care of them. Men still fight for them to be women. They're still fighting for their own control and their own independence from women with the type of liberation that women are using. Their form of rebellion saying you can't tell them what to do with their body while they can showcase it to the world and have sex with whoever they want to. And then they want men to marry them after they decided to do that for most of their lives, right? So again, I will point out women only enter relationships today for temporary or long-term provisions, not for the actual need for the man to lead her life and the child's life. So it's going to complicate relationships because they claim they want leaders, but they want leaders who follow them. She will put her interests over the child, the man, and the family for self-love and happiness. And men have to fight continuously for women to listen to them and cooperate with them. And men have to fight for their kids as well, too. So not only do we not have to fight for our women, we have to fight for our children as well, too, because women will get in the way of the parenting as well, too. So in most cases, women will pick her way, control her feelings, the last word, being a thought, showing her body to the world, sexual liberation and independence over a man, more so than having the man and a family. I will concede on that point, my sister NAPAH. You can respond to that. And I will ask, in regardless to the end, when I'm conceding my time as well, too, can you answer that question to me again? Do women pick themselves or the leaderships of men in 2006? What is her priority? Do most women pick the leadership of men, or do they pick to lead themselves in today's society?
Okay, the debate is who are they equally responsible? You're not. I'm a seasoned debater. Are you? The debate is, are they equally responsible for single? The facts that what women and men do in relation, I mean, the idea of what men and women do in relationships isn't going to say that women homes. I'm really breaking up probably because I can see it on my end. But if you can still hear me, that's all that matters. If you can't, if I freeze and you can still hear me talking, that's okay, Fatty. Just let me know when you can't hear me. Let me say this. Men are leaving households. Women are responsible. I'm going to say this through the debate, and men are responsible equally. You said just women. Men are responsible adults, and they are leaving the household. Now they're already not married. So we already have them, equal people, equally deciding not to have marriage. I've pointed out that in this particular subculture called Manosphere and MGTOW, you, Ali, say, if she doesn't listen to you, leave. That's you. You tell men, if she does not prioritize you, leave your family. That is your rhetoric from your own mouth. You tell people, men, since you want to make this about I'm not into the whole battle of the sexes. I like to get things done. I like for us to, it's not going to work. Blame women. That's just play. Use telling men you can leave and do it. You're on your way because they're just thoughts and hoes. I'm talking about facts. So if you want to do this, let's do this. You say, leave your house. You're responsible for the child having no father. You say, men, if you don't like what a woman does, leave. You're responsible for the child having a single mother-led home. Now, she's responsible for opening up her womb, and you're responsible for leaving. The debate is it equal? And I just proved it again. You could keep saying I'm not answering your questions. They're both equally responsible, sir. Now you can have the mic.
You didn't answer my question again. And the reason why I spoke about leadership and decision making is the fact that most women submit to themselves and cooperate with themselves. So it would add to the fact of why most women are single mothers, because they choose themselves over the man. And I'm pointing out,
are you choosing yourself? Are you choosing yourself when you tell men, if women don't prioritize you, leave? Now you answer my question. If you tell a man, if she doesn't prioritize you, leave. Are you choosing the children? Or are you choosing yourself? Let's see if you answer question.
So that's never been Ali's talking point. You must be talking about Muhammad Ali. You're not talking about this Ali. When in relationships, I would advise a man to leave, but Ali doesn't tell men to leave their relationships.
You said if she doesn't prioritize you, leave.
That's the second interruption.
I'm sorry, I'm freezing a lot, so it's a delay.
Oh, I'm sure my mouth was running during that delay, but I've never tell men to leave their households with children. I would tell a man to leave his relationships, but I don't really be pushing men to leave their relationships most of the part. Most people don't hear me telling me to leave the mother of their children if they have a marriage or if they're with their children. I tell men to do the best they can to work it out, and a lot of times to remain in those relationships as long as the woman isn't too detrimental or cheating on the man. So that I don't know who talking point that is, like I said, I might be Muhammad Ali's point, but I gotta wait till she comes back, right?
Yes, let me stop the clock. I was freezing for a second too. Ali, can you put on your notes the questions that she didn't answer? Just write it down. Just write it down.
All right.
And by the way, shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes. Thank you for
the Untouchable Empire, baby.
Appreciate you. Shout out to the lovely Maisha with the $50. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Player one saying, I don't donate to clothes. Damn, that's crazy. Friends, $10 and up. You can ask questions that are going to be read at the 30-minute mark on the last 30 minutes of the show. We still have 1 more hour of open debate because there's no more winners and losers. I'm kind of letting NAPAH talk a little bit more, but I will make sure and ensure that questions are answered when it's time for me to ask questions. That's why I said, Ali, if you think the questions are not being asked, answered, I'll make sure on the Q&A part where you can participate to actually do that, okay? Please donate to Ali and NAPAH. We need them to get at least lunch money and dinner money. So I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. And remember, when the clock runs out, the people that are in the chat will have the opportunity to pull up and to challenge our debaters. Okay. So make sure if you think the debaters didn't close the door and did a good job, pull up and make sure that you are here to challenge the debaters. Okay. Lastly but not least, Cool Calf says Ali already cool. King, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. And Pa changed phone. She has 7 phones. I don't think it's the phones in the Pa. Maybe it's internet connection, but let's see if we're going to get it now. Can you give me a 1, 2, 3 testing real quick?
1, 2, 3 testing.
It's a little bit froggy in the Pa. I think it's more of the Wi-Fi.
That's a little bit. No. That's better. No, Fatty, it's good.
It's better.
Yeah, we cooked the other internet connection. This one hopefully is better. It's better. You can see her. She has clarity, and she's moving. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Okay. So Napa, do you know where you were with the point? And then please, Ali.
Right.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The point was that it's not about a battle of the sexes. When we talk about single parenting homes, we're talking about the people getting together, not valuing the nuclear family, people not valuing the nuclear family due to decades of people not getting married, decades of women saying, hey, I can just do no fault divorce and I can go get the government to help me. They take them out of the welfare, the women, and then they put them into the workforce. So they're like, what do I need a man for? And then the man gets fed up and he's like, okay, I'm going my own way. I'm talking about society. But at the core, when we're talking about the microcosm, the man and the woman, it's consensual. Whether or not she has more birth control options, they both decide that they want to have sex and they know that sex makes babies. If you want to talk about it's her womb, well, doesn't he know that if he does a certain action, I don't want to get graphic, doesn't he know that that's probably going to get his swimmers in there and get her pregnant? So I don't want to be childish. The fact that you're trying to say that it's just women at fault is the issue and the problem, Ali. I mean, you can ask me more questions, I'm answering it, but you still haven't proven that women are the only one at fault for single parent homes. You said men should, if she doesn't prioritize herself, you said, I'm not glad that the child doesn't have a father, but I'm not mad at the guy. If he doesn't get her to listen to him and submit, he should leave. Those are your words. That's your rhetoric.
So there are more single mothers. You like data? There's more single mothers statistically than single fathers. Women have kids much earlier than men do in general. And also, when you said that we equally leave, or no, you didn't even say equally leave anymore. You're saying men are leaving. Nepal, if you know data, 70 to 80% of divorces initiated by women, not men. Women are typically leaving relationships that they signed up for. So we can't be equally responsible for leaving as well, too. You choose when we have sex. You choose when the baby comes into this world. You choose who will be the father. You will choose if someone will be a father. You choose if you go sexless. You choose if you will have no babies. You make majority of the decisions. We have rebutted even the fact that men control relationships, because even if I can get you in a relationship, if you change your mind, the relationship is done. Most men want to keep their families together, even if they're run over, even if he's inconvenienced, even if it's all about the woman, even if he isn't happy. But the woman will over and over and over compromise herself for her own delusion and idea of happiness, because she's even miserable when she's single again as well too. So most women, whether they single or in a marriage, are typically still miserable, and instead of putting the family and the men first, they choose themselves. So again, whatever way you want to go, the women are controlling and dictating the market. There's a great philosopher named Fatty that said yesterday, and I will concede to this. I'll say this first. If men said we like women who be quiet, women will talk more and talk more aggressive and talk as much as they would like. If the great philosopher Fatty said, If women said we only want to talk to one-legged men, men in mass would get rid of their legs to be with women. That's how much men love men. Whatever terms y'all create, whatever standards you create, men try their best to adhere to that, and it still isn't good enough. Whatever terms we want, whatever expectations and standards we want in families or without families, single or in relationships, y'all run from, because you believe self-empowerment and freedom is controlling your own body, your own thoughts, and your own leadership. Again, this is not equally responsible for single mother households. Women are picking to run themselves. They're not picking for men to run them. And I will ask you this, Nepal, another question you will not answer. I know you won't. Do women and children flourish better under the control of women, or do women and children flourish better under the control of men?
Okay. I'm going to address everything you said, and I'll start with your question. Do women and men flourish better under the control of women?
Do women and children flourish better under the control of men or under the control of themselves?
Okay. I will answer that question if you answer this. Who runs society, men or women? Is this a patriarchal society or a matriarchal society?
One second, about we can't do that. We can do the tick for it. We can do the tick
Okay,
for
then I'll answer its question. This is a
the question and
patriarchal.
then yes, answer and then you can answer.
Would women and men flourish better under the control of women or men? This is a patriarchal society, number one. So we're under the control of men. You decide how well we're flourishing. Number two, that question, do men, it depends. It depends on the person who is leading, not their gender. And guess what? That's not according to NAPAH SADAH. That's according to experts, sociologists, psychologists, people, and even people who've studied throughout time, anthropologists. There is no empirical data showing that gender determines who rules better and who's a better parent. We're not into that conversation yet, though. So I've answered your question. You don't like the answers because they hurt your feelings. They hurt your debate as well. Women and men are under a patriarchal society right now. Women and men are under a patriarchal society right now. How are we doing? That's rhetorical. Don't jump in. When you start talking about do they flourish better under men or women, guess what? If we're going to get back to the conversation of the debate, they flourish better when children have two parents. Gender isn't even always relevant because new studies are coming out saying that if children, the studies are only for heterosexual research, but they're showing that this data that we're talking about bad parenting, they're measuring LGBTQ two-parent households against heterosexual single-parent households. I'm going to leave that out there on the table for the next part of the debate. Let me get to some of this rhetoric that we need to knock down today. I'm tired of it in these forums that you guys are in, doing play, throwing out that women have 70%. They are the ones that initiate divorce. Guess what? MGTOW came around in 2010, and they told people it just came to a head. It came to a complete head. Everything that was that train wreck that was coming from the 60s, when they said you couldn't have a man in your house, it all came to a head in the 2000s because women have been told, you don't need a man. You don't need a man. You can do it. They're poor. They're broke. Let the government help you. I said that. Remember, it's equally. I'm not taking the blame off of women. Men said, fine. You don't care about me. I'm not going to be worrying about you. I'm not going to worry about those kids either. Bye-bye. Men left, still equal. Men said in the 2000s, don't marry these women. Do not marry them. Leave them if they don't listen. And guess what? They said, we don't want to deal with the government. I'm talking about the men. You got to be, this is not for slow gases. This is for people who have some sense. You got to look at the complexity. Because these men said, we don't mess with the government, but we don't give a damn about you women, and we damn sure don't care about being married to you when we're already married. The women went and they got divorces. If you look at the reasons for divorce, it'll be adultery, not communicating, men going their own way, not wanting to be involved with you. The movement of men is, I'm going to just withdraw. No man is going to go in there. Most men aren't. They're not going to go down to the court and get a divorce because they know they're going to have to pay. They know they're going to have more headache with the government. They know that the judicial system is against them. Let me say that 3 times. They know that the courts are against them. One more time for slow gases. Men are not initiating divorce more than women because they're not stupid. They know that they are going to get the short end of the stick. So all that, ladies and gentlemen, next time you hear them bring up that 70% of divorce, he's already checked out anyway. He's probably not even living home with those kids. He's probably still married on paper, but he's left the household. Remember that the stats are coming from measurements of paper marriage, paper divorce, and who is not married. We're talking about single parent, single mother households, Ali. We're not talking about she gave it to me and now she won't let me do it. She won't do what I say. So I'm hurt. We're talking about who's responsible. Both people are responsible because they don't value marriage like they used to before the 60s. I can't say this enough to you. You're saying I'm not answering your questions. I am answering your questions. You don't like the answers. Men and women are both responsible for single parenting. Women are having sex with men consensually. You make it like men are little weak puppies that just follow behind women. She doesn't want me to do that. Okay, I went, men are autonomous, responsible beings. We have a boy crisis and we have men being mistreated in society and overlooked. And that is why we have radicalized subculture groups that are pushing men to make bad choices and say all women this and all women that, which are MGTOW and manosphere. Instead of saying certain women are toxic, I'm going to avoid them and build with good women. And then women should say certain men are toxic, I'm going to avoid them and build with good men. That's the issue. So I answered your question. Thank you for letting me pound it in that men and women are both responsible adults when it comes to parenting. If we had values like we used to, men and women both, if we didn't say, because I don't like that he's not talking to me, I'm going to go down and get a divorce. So see, I'm still blaming the women. But all this stuff about initiating divorce, they know they're going to win in court. But they shouldn't go get divorces. They should stick it out. You should only get divorces if you are harmed or in danger. But men are withdrawing. Men are saying, I will not get married. And that is the reason for single parent households. Women and men both. Goodness gracious, I can't say it enough. I feel bad. All of us, now I feel like I'm just beating you up. It's not even fair. It's not even fair anymore. Go ahead, brother.
So just because you say it's not fair doesn't mean it's not fair. You're actually cooking yourself.
Okay, it is fair.
and you that's the 3rd time you interrupted me.
I'm not interrupting you.
That's the 4th time. And you're contradicting me contradicting yourself as well too. You'll say that kids need 2-parent households, but then you say women can lead families just as well as men. You'll say you're against single mother households, but then you say women can do again what men can do. On top of that, you say they're equally responsible for single mother households, but you said men are mistreated by women in society. You said women will leave men. You said women will use the court system against men. But you say that men are equally responsible.
I never said anything like that. This isn't the type of debate where I have to wait till you stop talking. I never said that, but keep on lying because you're hurt.
You want to take my time? Because I want you to interrupt me as much as you can.
I didn't know we had time like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me mute out.
So you admit men are not equally responsible, but just like a woman, you want men to take equal blame for your failures, and you want to take the make us equal when we are successful. You don't want to take blame for the failures, and you don't want to hold yourself accountable for how you affect relationships in today's day and time. If you believe yourself, which you say all the time, that men are leaders. You can't contradict yourself and then say men and women can do the same thing, especially when women don't listen. So if we're the leaders and women don't follow or listen to the man that comes inside of her or listens to a man she has baby with, we're not equally responsible. If she chooses herself, if she chooses the government over the man, even though she has a kid with him, we're not equally responsible. NAPAH.
I didn't want you to accuse me of talking over you, because that would be a tactic, because I'd whip your butt in this debate. You okay? Can I talk now, or you're good?
You can't.
I'm not going to give you that.
You can't retract or backtrack NAPAH and walk it back. You did it 6 times, 5 to 6 times. It's too late, so it's okay. Thank you.
What did I backtrack on, Ali?
You can't go. You're not trying to interrupt me and make it seem like I'm just talking about it when you interrupt me 5 or 6 times, NAPAH. You can't do that now. It's okay.
Ali,
it's okay.
Ali, that's your tactic.
We're not going to do that. You're derailing now. You're trying to derail. I'm mute.
You notice that we're both that you hand the mic over me, and I said over to me, and I said, I know your tactic. You like it's called Darvo. You act defensive, then you say that I attacked you, and you try to get people on your side. Brother, the debate is going just fine. Don't worry about we have a moderator. We have a moderator. Nobody's interrupting you that much that you can't get your points across, and your points are invalid. I offered historical data, historical events as far as the welfare program, the second wave of feminism, the MGTOW manosphere movement. You've offered feelings. You've offered feelings about this great masters of the universe gatekeeping sex gatekeeper named woman, and men are at her mercy. You paint men to look like little minions at the feet of this goddess on a throne that says you may have sex. You know, it's like men and women are both equally responsible for creating families. Let's get back to some of the statistics and facts. When we look at single parent homes, I want to get back to that. I keep saying single parent homes and the equality of responsibility between man and woman. Women and men both decide not to get married. I said that in my intro. Because of historical events like the welfare, they say, why should we get married? Let's just live together. I don't know if you're aware of the fact that the statistics that you're reading are measuring single parent households by people who cohabitate and don't marry. That means that we have a lot of people, what they used to say in the good old days, shacking up and just, having babies. That's what we have. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of the statistics that you're reading are based on certain aspects of people shacking up, not just solo households? So you're going to have to be clear. When I'm talking about single mother households, I'm talking about solo mothers compared to single father households who may be solo or single father. And the majority of single father households, by the way, are cohabitating. Do you know what that means? Are you aware of what that implicates?
Yes, you're not marrying before you carry. You let me bust you down. You let me have my way. You're without willing to cooperate for what it takes to get a ring. And then you want me to turn back around and buy the cow after I milked it. Instead of you know what's crazy is that you're being contradictory on this panel because you tell late. Now, this is your talking point. You get mine wrong just to argue something that I've never said while you're losing and getting cooked. And this is an easy one, right? You yourself tell women to keep their legs closed and don't have sex until the man marries you. That's what you say. So they don't end up what? A single mother, which means
I don't say
that they can. Who? Yes, you do. You tell women to get married.
I don't say so you don't end up a single mother. You lied on that part. But I do say keep your legs
closed. Why do you tell them to get married before you have sex with a man?
Because you should, if you want to keep a man in your life, women want to get married. Sorry, I know that's your talking point with the manosphere. Women and men both ideally want to be married, meaning they don't want their children to live in broken homes. I know you want to paint this weirdness about it's like a witch hunt. Women only want broken homes. We're the heroes, brother. That's MGTOW talking points. Go on your own way. Women and men both want to have stable nuclear units for their children, for their lives. So I tell women, if you want a man to stay with you, don't have sex with him before marriage. You just admitted that men are having sex. That's consensual. Men are having sex. Do you think men are little babies without responsibility? Or do you think men are actual responsible individuals? That's rhetorical. Obviously, men are going into relationships, having sex, knowing that they can possibly get a woman pregnant. When she gets pregnant, it's not like they're shocked. They may be unhappy or happy, but it's not like they're shocked. Okay, they know, oh, you're pregnant? Okay, we did have sex. When a man gets a woman pregnant, they both should decide, let's stay together. Let's have a nuclear family that loves and puts children first. We have to make sacrifices. Marriage is about making sacrifices. We have to be able to put our differences aside, not break up a house. First off, we should get a marriage contract to make these children legitimate. Once we do that, let's go ahead and not leave this family. Let's work it out. I'm talking about if there's no violence or abuse. Now, back to what you're saying. You tell women we can bust you down. You're not, do you hear yourself not giving men any type of autonomy or responsibility? We can just, you're not babies, you're men. You have the responsibility to get married before sex, just like she does. She's not the boss of everything. You actually, ironically, want to make it like women control everything. You control your body as well as she does. Just because she can carry the baby, you control if you decide to have sex with her, Ali. You do. You decide if I put myself inside of her, she could have a baby. And what they used to do as men, they used to make her an honest woman and make the children legitimate, and they'd go down and get married. And they understood, because before the 60s, they saw marriage families, nuclear family. After the 60s, they saw mom and daddy don't live together. Mom and daddy didn't get married because mama needs welfare. So they just continued. Let's just have babies without marriage. So you are blaming one side, and that's why we're not getting anywhere. When we look at both men and women, we say, you don't have sex before marriage and you don't have sex before marriage. And if you're going to, you both are responsible for that child having a single parent household. I'm trying to hammer that into your piñata. You're both responsible.
So NAPAH, you are outside of the fact that I love you, NAPAH, right? You are the representation.
I love you too.
You are the representation of most women. You think just because you say something, you're right, and it ends up biting you and nipping you in the bud, right? So the problem is women have a fun phase. Women have a whole phase. They put babies and put their careers before having a marriage and having a family as well too. All we have to do outside of that is focus on the people who are doing it the right way. Even if a man marries a woman, she still find a way to leave him. She'll still find a way to divorce. And most of them will find ways to become single mothers and make men single fathers. So we don't have to look at the people who are doing it wrong. All we have to do is look at the people who are doing it right. So even if women are still leaving men that put a ring on their finger, that actually do a contractual agreement to take care of them for life and take care of their families, instead of keeping their families together, women will pick that self-love and happiness, self-love and happiness rhetoric and self-empowerment, self. Everything is me, I. So I would concede to you, if when men got married, that they would leave women and divorce women. The problem is, even if men put a ring on their fingers, the women still divorce, NAPAH. And stat-wise, they're still leaving men, and they're still making themselves single mothers, and they're still making men single fathers, as long as they got that notch on the belt that they became a wife, and they'll brag about it. I used to be a wife, instead of I am a wife.
NAPAH and Ali, final thoughts about this prompt. We're going to read super chats, and we're going to the second one, okay?
Okay. You want me to go?
Yes, first, and then Ali close it up.
Okay. I want to say this has been great so far. I'd love to engage with very, very heated debates about very important topics. So this topic is important. I want to say that first and foremost, but I want to point out that you brought out a lot of points about women and why they're responsible. And kudos to you. I want to give you a round of applause. The debate isn't just about women, it's about men too. Who are they equally responsible? In this debate, I pointed out things that women have done and things that men have done. I'm sticking to my premise where I say they both are responsible. I pointed out that the government had a hand in it because unfortunately there was a lot of poverty, a lot of hunger, homelessness. And so LBJ came in and said, I got an idea. Let's give them, let's get the society together by giving these women food stamps, welfare checks, and but one thing, we got to make sure we reinforce that they can't have a man in the house. That was already a part of welfare before the 60s, but they really drove it home. And they misused the system to harm men, but to ultimately harm families. It's AFDC saying aid for families, but it's not aid for families. It broke it was the onset of single parents, single mother homes. Men decided, hey, I want my kids to have food. I'm recapping real quick. They said, I want my kids to have food. So we're not going to marry these women. Then they started shacking up. Marriage rates went down. After that, women said, I want to do it too. They divorced. Men went along with that because they said, look, baby, we'll still live together, but we will be able to get a check. Getting to the 2000s, men said, you know what? Leave these women. Don't marry them. Who cares? If you get them, as what you say, bust down, which is really highly offensive, but I got you. You say bust down, you bust them down, but you don't get married to them. You never had an intention. They're both responsible. She let herself get bust down. He bust down. A baby came. Nobody ever thought about marriage. To this day, we have the highest rate. Actually, I take that back. In 2010, we have the highest rate of single mother-led homes and single-parent homes because men were going their own way. Just like with feminism in the 60s. Women with the second wave of feminism, I'm going to do it by myself. I don't need no man. Men said, you know what? It's fine. We don't need no woman. Don't marry these women. Don't give them a ring. Just have sex with them. You guys say pump and dump. And if the baby comes, oh, let's just blame her. We're not getting anywhere. If we continue to just blame one side, we're going to keep this cycle going. We need to see that men and women need to get together. They need to be able to put family first, which starts with marriage. You need to get the nuclear family back together. It starts with marriage. And guess what, Ali? Marriage isn't one-sided. It's equal. And so is parenting, and so is single parenting. That is my point. And I think you see what I'm saying. It's equal. They're equally responsible. Thank you.
So the bad thing about you is you can't do what most of the time women do. Y'all like to push that feminism in your own way, and the man has to keep bailing you out. Every time you fail, drop dead in your face. So even though you came here to debate most of these things that you're saying that's not facts, but you'll always be able to find a nice man to rest on, a nice husband to go to who will still take care of you, even if you make horrible decisions. You can't do this in this debate. I didn't come here to debate you on if men are equally responsible. I came to debate you on who's the most responsible. You already said that the only part, and I conceded to, that we're equally responsible is if we have sex or if men have sex. That's where we both consent. That's where we equal. But if you control when we can have sex, who's the father, when the baby comes, when you marry, when you divorce, if you control over 20 forms of contraceptives and birth control, if you can delete the kids when I want it or keep it if I don't, if you can put it up for adoption, we're not equally responsible for sex. We're not equally responsible for the babies, and we're not equally responsible for you becoming a single mother.
Friends, thank you very much once again for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for all the people watching the show on all the platforms. Please make sure you subscribe to them. I want Ali and NAPAH to have a little bit of dinner money and a little bit of lunch money. So please, either cash apps. I would truly appreciate it. It's not my day today. So please make sure that they get a cash app and a PayPal. You want to say something, NAPAH?
Yes. What was the title of the debate that we just did? I want people to hear, because he said we didn't come to. What was the title of the debate?
You're talking about the prompt? Men and women are equally responsible for creating single mother-led homes.
And thank you. So thank you very much.
Don Quisha, she's in the building saying NAPAH is a real debater. Ali's just talking crap. NAPAH 3-0. Damn, that's crazy. And
she just saying that because I made her a single mother.
Damn, that's crazy. Stop hating on Quisha. And by the way, Carl Anderson with 10 Untouchable memberships. Thank you so much, Carl, for supporting the Untouchable Empire. I appreciate you, sir.
I believe that there's multiple so-called black leaders who believe that they are untouchable.
The Untouchable Empire, baby.
Thank you very much. And they live says women and children can come last, just like modern woman put family last. Thank you very much. We have Mr. Zero Fallout saying NAPAH kept so much. Only 5% of kids are from non-married cohabitation. 23% of kids are from single moms. How is it both? It's 64 in the community. We have one more, and it says they live. When did women who have visited Planned Parenthood regularly and in the streets become so moral? Thank you very much. Questions $10 and up are going to be answered in the last 30 minutes of the debate. If you feel like the debater didn't do a good job and you want to challenge him on a point, I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes to come in and to explain exactly how they should debate. I'm gathering some questions. I will make sure to ask y'all a few, okay? Second prompt for the last 30 minutes of the debate. Men are better parents than women. Men are better parents than women. I want Ali to start since NAPAH started the first one. I'm just going to wait for her to come back, and then we go from there. Once again, friends, please like the videos. The likes are for free. ILKAN Ali, go ahead. Men are better parents than women. This is the prompt. Let's go ahead. Tell me why.
The Untouchable.
It's time to
So before I go more deeper into this, right? I just want to give a little context about how fathers are just at parenting, okay? And this is stat wise, and I'm not even gonna get the stats yet. I'll get the stats to you, NAPAH. Fathers are more rule focused. Fathers are more disciplinary. Fathers are more likely to enforce consequences consistently, and less emotionally swayed than mothers are. Mothers tend to negotiate with their children. Mothers tend to comfort their kids, avoid emotionally distress, and they tend to bend the rules so their kids get their way, so they don't have to enforce it the way a man would have to enforce it. So she looks like a good mother. A lot of women tend to compromise the order of the household to comfort herself and make herself feel better, depending on what she's going through in the household, where a lot of fathers typically implement order and, again, the consistency of the household. I will get the data. I'm going to give you some more data as well too, when it comes to why fathers are better parents than mothers. But fathers will prioritize right and wrong over what's in the best interest of the mother solely as a parent. You got it, NAPAH.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. As I did with the last prompt with the title, that I'm going to do this again. There is none whatsoever, I should say, none whatsoever. There is no data saying that there is a gender attached to good parenting. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, the statistics show that 2-parent households, right, children fare better than in single-parent households. Why am I adding this to men aren't better parents? Because 2-parent households can definitely be and have been measured woman. So a lesbian mother and mother, statistics, not your feelings again, statistics show, and that data, I'd like for you to give me the source. No, let me say this. I'm not doubting it, because you did say some things that make sense, but again, you're lopsided. Statistics show that 2-parent households, children fare better than 1-parent household. A father single household, according to statistics, does not fare better than a mother 2-parent household. That's the statistics. So we're going to put that on the table. However, when you want to talk about mom and gender and women, yes, fathers function. That's why you need a nuclear family. Fathers function in a disciplinary way, which is very, very helpful for the child's development, and risk-taking. Fathers are the ones that let children take risks, which really help them build in social issues and behavioral issues later in life, where mothers are more protective, nurturing, comforting. And yet, so see, we need both. Again, you're saying fathers are better. There is no better. You can't say, well, dad disciplines better, and so he's a better parent. Mom, she gives me hugs and kisses when I fall down, but dad tells me, suck it up. You need both. You don't need imbalance. That's the problem today. That's why we have so many mentally dysfunctional people today, because there is an imbalance. Now, for my information about parenting, I want to bring forth secure attachment. Again, I don't believe either sex is better, but I will say Ali went on and on and on in our last interaction about women in their birth, women in the womb. You carry the baby. You're absolutely right, Ali. The first interaction that a child has is with the mother. How can she be less of a parent when she is the first interaction? She is the first. Everything that affects her, even while the child's in the womb, affects the child. She is the first parent. So how can she be the worst parent? How, Ali? When she takes the child out, she nurtures the child. And I'm not talking about dysfunctional. I'm talking about just biology. She gives the child nurturing in the womb. So she's giving the child life. That's your rhetoric. It's coming back to bite you in the ankles. Your rhetoric is she gives the child life. She chooses life. That's a plus. She feeds the child in the womb. That's a plus. She takes her prenatal vitamins. She makes sure her baby is safe. She sings to the baby. When she has the baby, she holds the baby. Secure attachment, according to the psychologist Piaget, secure attachment is vital in forming the neurological scaffolding of the mind, literally. So neurologically, the mother is the first contact, which lasts the child until the tomb, from the womb to the tomb. So the mother is giving. The father is also giving. See, I'm not saying if men or women are better. I'm saying it's both. The father gives the semen, the sperm, and the sperm creates the placenta. The dad is a part of the process as well. There's no one better or worse. When the child is born, dad lets mom nurture more, but he starts when the child starts to want to toddle. He helps the child learn how to walk. They both cheer. Mommy, when the baby falls, oh my God, the baby. Daddy says, no, baby's okay. There is no one better or worse. You will not be able to show me any hardcore empirical data that says only men are better than parents. Now, if you want to start getting into all the dysfunctional stuff, I'm ready for you. But I put it on the table again. There is no gender that says parenting is good. It's about the quality of the person, the quality of the care, the quality of the character, and if it's men and women in the dynamic of a nuclear family. I'll hand it back over to you.
So there's data that shows that a single father household is equivalent to a two-parent household. What's crazy is the only thing that you showed us just now for women being better parents than fathers, and then you'll turn right back and say that they both are equally needed, is you're saying that the mother gives birth to the baby and feeds the baby. That's what kind of could possibly make her a better parent, because she nurtures. Women typically raise babies, men raise children and families. But I'll give you some more data, okay? Fatherless homes, right? Households without fathers are 4 times more likely to live below the poverty line. Children of fatherless households are 2 more times likely to drop out of school. Infant mortality rates are 2 times higher in fatherless households. Adolescents from fatherless households are more likely to commit crimes. Children growing up without a father are 2 times as likely to commit suicide. When it comes to teen pregnancy rates, they go higher when fathers are not in the household. Children lacking interactions with their early development interaction with children and development behavioral problems. It comes from not having the father around. 90% of the children that are unhoused or runaways come from fatherless households. 80% of all rapists and children with anger issues or people with anger issues were raised in fatherless households. If I can remember some more, I'll give you some more. But you have not given me what makes mothers better in the household. No stats, no data, but imperative data shows us that majority of the issues, whether it's cognitive, social, psychological, comes from single mother households typically. Not saying that the mother can't raise these children, love these children, nurture these children, provide discipline or structure to these children, but majority of people who got issues is coming from single mother households. What imperative data are you showing me that where the mother can do it better than the father can do it?
Okay, thank you so much. And it's empirical data, not imperative.
Yeah, thank you.
But it is imperative that I let you see what's going on.
I made one mistake.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying for the audience. This particular rhetoric, I'm so glad you brought it up. This rhetoric that's been spewed around, the skewed data that you're going around saying, because we found that single parent households, children don't do well, we're going to juxtapose that to the gender war agenda of MGTOW. When you go to that article that all of you've been grabbing, but from Medium, where this sex worker, I don't know if you know that, but she was a former sex worker. She wrote that article, y'all, in Medium. Let me read this article for you, a little bit of it. Alicia Jane decided for shits and giggles to write an article and say, single father households fare better than single mother households. Every bit of that data that she used, she skewed the argument that fathers are better. When you look at the actual data in it from Pew Research and the Census Bureau, it is a shame, the lie that has been told And the way the manosphere has taken that information and run with it is even more shameful. This ex-sex worker said that mothers are not as good parents as fathers when they're single. When you came in and you repeated that lie that she tells in that article that a single father household is equivalent to a two-parent household, that's not the data. And you know what's embarrassing? Y'all didn't even click on the damn links when she put the sources in the paper. It's sad. All of these people saying they are, the pioneers of information and debating, not one of you, or maybe you did and you just are deliberately lying to the public. Single father households are not they're not equivalent to two-parent households. What you're seeing is this particular data from the census report, the Census Bureau is measuring, listen to me carefully, it's measuring men who are raising children solo and in cohabitating households. I don't think you heard me. This data is measuring men who live alone and with a partner who's a woman. And the debate is, are men better parents? Because that's the data that was measured, you've lost this argument. You've lost this argument. That particular census is, I said it in the first part of our debate, that when you define single father, you're defining men who cohabitate with a partner, or the mother even, or solo. Those three. When you look at the stats, most of the fathers, single fathers who are classified as single fathers, they are cohabitating with a partner and or living with their mama, who was a single mama too. If you look further into the research in that with the sex worker, that Alicia Jane, who gave you guys that information about single father households are better. If you look further in the research, you will find that 81% of the mother homes are solo. What does that mean? We don't have anybody else in there. There's no daddy. And guess who left that house? The man did, because according to Ali, if she doesn't listen to you, you better leave. I thought he was a better parent, because the woman has and this isn't a battle of the sexes with me, but I got to give you the facts. The woman said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm doing it by myself. Of course, a broken home. Fathers are needed. They must be there. It's not an option. You must have a father. You must have a father in the home. But guess what? You must have a mother. So the data that's been reviewed for the mother, we're looking at most of it, an actual single parent home with no one living there. You can get the stats, but I have them on deck. I got them on deck. So don't use that information. That information about, yes, there's more teen pregnancy. Yes, there's more suicide. Yes, there's more of everything negative because their father is not in the home. That doesn't mean that he's a better parent. He made a mistake for leaving because he listened to MGTOW and he listened to Manosphere and he listened to Ali saying, if she don't do what you say, if she doesn't prioritize you, leave. That's not a better parent. No parent is better because of the sex or gender of the person. So, I want y'all to stop using that skewed information. Fathers are, one more thing. The data that you brought out is used by, let's say, sociologists and psychologists who say fathers are necessary. So they're looking at it saying, you need to have a presence as a father. You have to be there as a father. When we're looking at these single mother homes, it's because the father isn't around, Ali. He won't come see the kids. When you're looking at those stats about doing poorly in school, getting in gangs, and also poverty, of course, poverty and the father not being around. Riddle me this. How can he be a better parent when these stats are coming from him not being around? Interesting.
Checkmate. You just checkmated yourself. All the
Yeah,
issues
right.
that women are complaining about, where their children are failing, where their children aren't disciplined, where their children are committing crimes, where their children have self-esteem issues and social issues, is because the daddy isn't around. If the father is raising the kids by himself, he can implement all those things and implement discipline, and most of those kids are going to comply. They're not going to refuse because they have to listen to the father. If there is a two-parent house where children can fail, or a daughter is becoming over-sexual, or the mother is pushing her to use her body as leverage for attention in society, where she's emasculating the father in front of the son, it's typically a woman who don't allow the man to be a man inside the house and allow him to enforce that type of incentives and that type of household regulation as well too. You checkmated yourself and admitted that the problems are happening because the father isn't around. Go look at single father households. Go look at households where the father has his children, whether it's a son or a daughter. Most of those kids comply. And a lot of times they want to go back and live with their mothers so their mothers can enable them, so they can do what they want, and so they can get away with everything that they want to do and step out the house as much as they would like as well too, and sneak little boys in the house as well too, dress how they want, talk how they want, and act like they want. When you have a man in the household that's allowed to be a man and a father, when you have a single father household, when the kids come over and stay with the father, you have a better household where a father is typically a better parent. You admitted yourself, and I'll use that as a checkmate, that the problems are happening because the father isn't there. It demonstrates the value of men, and it demonstrates the value of the man being a father.
I never said that a father is, I don't know, maybe you are putting in earplugs when I speak. I said a father is crucial, but the father has left the home because he took your advice. You said, if she doesn't prioritize you, leave. That, for me, is ridiculous advice. Because if you leave a household because you're not getting prioritized, what does that say about you and what you think about children? That's rhetorical. Let's get back to you saying, single father households, this and that. I don't think you heard me say the thing about cohabitation. I think it's hard for you to really take that in because it's going to kill your argument. So everyone knows, especially in this environment, that men are told, don't go be with single mothers. You're told, avoid her like the plague if she has kids. You all teach that. You say, don't be stepdads. You teach that. You teach men not to be with women if they have children. You say avoid women if they have children. You also say leave your own children if she won't do what you say. Now, when a woman goes out after a man left because he listened to Ali, Ali said if she doesn't prioritize, you leave. So she goes out to find another man, and every man is saying, no, I'm not being with no single mama. So now there are no men at all leading the household. Yes, you're right. There's problems. I mentioned that children need fathers. Children need mothers equally. There's no better or worse parent. It goes by, according to gender, it goes by character and values and a lot of other things. Let's get back to the part where you said single fathers do better. I don't think you heard me say that a lot of them are cohabitating with women. Yeah, women, it's more accepted in our society. And women are like, I don't mind helping you with your kids. Ooh, you're such a great dad. It's honorable. And I think so too. In society, when you see a man raising his kids by himself, so he has a woman living with him. You said men are better parents. He has a woman living with him. He's classified on paper with the census that he's a single father, because he is, but he's cohabitating with a woman. Your argument is that men are better parents. So we've got the nuclear family in the single father households, but in the single mother households, we have nothing. We have desperate despair and dysfunction because you are telling women, you deserve it. You do it on your own. Men don't marry them. Men don't be stepfathers to those kids. Let those women get what they deserve. There's poverty. There's dysfunction because there's no father there to watch over, to discipline, to say, let's take this risk. You can do it, son. You can do it, daughter. Don't do it, son. Don't do it, daughter. That's what you say. You say that. So all this stuff about, oh, and then the single father's got a girlfriend helping him. He's got his mama. This is the facts. I know it hurts some of your audience when they hear the facts. A lot of these younger single fathers are living with their mama, who is a single mom. Guess who's taking care of the baby with him? Grandma. When the single woman gets pregnant and she's young, she'll stay with mom for about a while, and then she's like, I can't do this, because it's a cycle of dysfunction. She moves out on welfare, and then the government helps her. She gets the welfare unit to live in, and she starts living by herself, and nobody wants her because Ali and all the manosphere said, don't be with her. So we've got two different households. We literally can look deeper into the data and see that single parent fathers are not solo, most of them, not all. There are some solo, but it's a small percentage. Most of them are actually nuclear families with a mother, a representative of a woman at least, and a representative of a father. Where with the single mother households that you're comparing, skewing the data, she's alone, and you push that. You tell men in this forum, don't be with her, don't be a stepdad, don't give these kids a father. And you're telling me that men are better fathers? Last time I checked, men are better parents. Last time I checked, step parents are parents. But you tell men don't be step parents. You tell men, you are a fool to be a step parent. How is that better? I thought you said it was bad to be a stepdad. You're not ready, but you're getting this work, Ali. I'm going to give this question to you when you come back in here, all beaten up and tattered because I'm busting your piñata. Let me ask you, are men cohabitating with women, but putting it on paper that they are single parents according to the Census Bureau? Since you're pulling in empirical data, which is imperative, let me know.
I honestly have no idea about that, but it's a moot point because we're debating who's better.
I know you
parents.
have no idea.
I don't, but we're debating who's better parents, not if fathers are cohabitating with women that listen to them because the biological mother doesn't listen to them. And you just cooked yourself, by the way. Most of the time, these men are leaving dysfunctional women who don't cooperate with them in a dysfunctional household. Men avoid single mothers because she puts her needs above the kids, a man, in order in the household. NAPAH just admitted, y'all, that these mamas are creating not only the problematic girls, but they're creating the problematic boys who still live with their mamas. NAPAH, why should a man take care of a woman that wouldn't listen or value the biological father? Why doesn't a woman value the father of her children more than being a single mother? And NAPAH, should a man leave a disorderly woman? These are all rhetorical questions for you, NAPAH, as well, too. But this one main thing I want to ask you, because on top of all the other questions you won't ask NAPAH, who are typically raising emotionally disorderly, disrespectful kids, NAPAH, men or women?
There is no gender. That's the answer. There is no gender. And guess what? This is the clincher. You just said who is typically raising. So are you implying that a woman is alone? No, you're not implying it. That's the facts, right? A woman is alone raising a child. Now, riddle me this. I'm in a relationship and I'm married or cohabitating, and I don't like the way you made me feel. I didn't prioritize the children from get jump. If I didn't prioritize the children from get jump, I must be not a great parent. I must not be the best parent if I'm the one who left because you're not prioritizing me. That's your rhetoric. If you don't do what I want, which happens in relationships, if you don't do what I want, I get to leave? You're saying women do that. But no, when we look at the facts, men are the ones leaving because there's more single parent mother-led households, 81% to be specific in society today. So who's leaving? How are you the better parent and you're the one who left? Dun, 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 dun. You're not the better parent. There is no better parent when it comes to gender. I'm not doing the battle of the sexes, but I'm not going to let you sit up here and lie and say women are not better parents. she's literally staying with the child. Now, if we're looking at the single father households, I'm not saying all are cohabitating, but a very small percentage compared to how many are cohabitating. So I killed that argument because there's women involved when you compare the dysfunction to the balance. But for the solo fathers that are living by themselves, they're getting told, hey, you're doing a great job. Yes, you got this. Where the women, and that's building up their morale. That's my point. When we're talking about dysfunction, well, for the women, you're being told, you're garbage. You're the reason these children are suffering. You're dysfunction. Oh, you just want these children to be you don't care about yourself. What do you think that does to the psyche of a woman or a human being in general? Women are being mistreated because they are alone in situations of raising their children, and you're not helping as men and as parents by saying, don't be with her, don't be a stepdad, don't be there, leave if she doesn't listen. You literally, I just wrote it down. You said, if she doesn't listen, that's your issue. You are so worried about being the parent to a woman and governing and having her submit. You're not worried about your own children and the consequence of you leaving. The fact is that there is no, I'm not saying both, I'm going back to, there's no gender that tells you if you're a good parent or not. Men make mistakes, women make mistakes. Parenting and emotion does not say, oh, it's because of your sex. Oh, it's because you're a man. Because I'm going to go back, you asking me questions, I want to ask you a question. If men are better at listen, if men are better at being parents, then why is a two-parent lesbian household bringing out better results for their children than a one-parent single father? I'll say it again. If with your stance that gender matters, that men are better parents, then why in the single parent household statistics, talking about fathers, single parent household, father, why is that data showing that children do not fare as well in a single parent father home compared to a two-parent lesbian led home? Those are women. Why? Two parents compared to single parents.
So I have heard of gay men raising kids better than the lesbian women or a single parent household.
Show me the data.
I'd have to go look for it, but I've never heard data where lesbians raise better than single fathers. I'd have to look into that. So you're asking me.
You're not listening.
You said lesbian. You said a lesbian.
The data. You quoted the data. There's data showing that a child from the two-parent household fares better than a child from a one-parent household. It doesn't matter. See, they're not using gender like you, but the data, we're talking about empirical evidence. We're not talking about our feelings right now. The data shows two-parent households fare better than one-parent households. That could be a single father and two lesbians. Tell me why, if men are better parents.
So I don't know where you're getting your information from, NAPAH. Nobody would ever concede to the fact that two lesbians raise children better than a single father.
You're not.
I don't know where you. I know I am listening. And NAPAH herself would never let her kids be raised from us two lesbians more so than. So hold on. So that everybody's watching, 320 people, because I'm gonna put you on trial.
And we're gonna get the,
you would rather if your children. If you had to give someone to watch your children, take care of your children, I want you to concede to this, that you rather have two lesbians raise your children if something would have, God forbid, happened to you and your family than a father, single father. No, yeah, can you answer one of my questions? That's my sixth. That's the sixth question you're about to answer. Would you rather? No.
I'm going to answer your question as always. Then
no, you haven't answered one. You haven't answered none of my questions.
You didn't answer mine.
I just said no. I didn't concede. I'm not conceding.
Ali, let her try to answer, and if she doesn't, write it down, and you're going to point all the questions that she didn't answer.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So let me get this right here. This is quick overview. On average, children in two-parent households fare better across the board in behavioral metrics. Okay, so Do you know that in the study by the National Institute of Health and other studies, that two-parent households are taking into consideration children raised in two-parent married LGBT families? That's the data. It's data that we have. There are lesbians and gay men being measured in that study. Whether or not it's a small percentage, which is it's not the majority, but there are parents in the census. The data that we're using comes from the Pew Research Center, it comes from the Census Bureau, and it's coming from places, like I said, the National Institute of Health. Different sources of information are showing that two-parent households, it doesn't matter the gender. I'm winning the debate. It doesn't, men are not better because my premise is that it doesn't base on gender. So according to you, men are better parents. But the data that you're pulling, which you said single fathers, which was wrong, single fathers match two-parent households. Why is two-parent households the litmus? It's the litmus because children fare better in two-parent households, regardless of of gender, not orientation, regardless, orientation too. So you're not looking at your own data. The data that you're using and the measurement is that two-parent households, children fare better than one-parent household. I didn't do the research. The data's there. My argument is that it's not based on sex. You are hitting a wall because the data you're using is showing that two-parent is the litmus. It says children do best in a nuclear two-parent family. Well, fathers are single fathers, and that means that sex does not matter. And that's according to you, because you're saying lesbians and that homosexuals aren't good parents. You want to do that debate next? I would love to. I'm having a good time beating you up on this information.
Ali didn't say it. We're talking about better parents. No, I would never concede to the fact that a lesbian household will do better than a single father. Absolutely not. Maybe fine.
Okay, well, guess what?
They may get more finance.
Fatty. I gotta do this. Ali, are you saying that the data that you were just using is now invalid?
No, so there's no research. Hey, NAPAH, you have the same thing you have, right? There's no research where two-parent household was two-parent lesbian household was compared to single father. There's no research that has that.
There is.
No,
yes, there is.
Where?
Go read the data again.
No, you asked me for that. No, where is it from? So she didn't pull it up.
Sir. The data includes lesbians and gays.
Can we get the link, NAPAH?
Yeah, what's the link that says that lesbians?
I'll get it right now.
I'll pause the clock for a second. Just if you can send me the link, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna get it.
Friends, I'll open the panel, and I'll open the panel, friends, in 25 minutes for y'all to come up and to challenge our opponents. If you have questions, I have questions too. Right now, I have 5 questions, 3 for one person and 2 for the other. I'll try to see how they fare with my questions, okay? So once again, there's 323 people watching. Please like the video, likes are for free. And if you can, I would appreciate it. Help NAPAH and Ali get some lunch money and some dinner money today, okay? So we're going to have fun. Please subscribe to ILKAN Ali, subscribe to NAPAH, and leave me alone, because I don't need more subscribers. I have 20,000 now. I'm an important person. Let's look at, because I to be honest, NAPAH, I didn't know about that either. I didn't know that I didn't know that it was overall across. Even lesbian couples had better results than a single dad. I didn't know that.
I knew gay men. We knew about gay men.
Fatty, I'm looking it up because I had to turn my camera off to look it up. But let me say this. The thing that I'm pointing out, which is valid, is that gays are accounted for in the study as two-parent when they're married. They're not excluded. Yes. They're not excluded. So let me get it.
Sure, but there's a thing. But how do we know in specific that the lesbian couples actually are outperforming single men instead of just the bulk of, imagine, gay parents doing great, heterosexual parents doing okay, and lesbian parents kind of doing below average, but because they are put together with the two groups, now their numbers actually look better than they're supposed to be. Like, we need to find an individual.
But and Fatty, I think it becomes moot too, though, because we were comparing men being better parents to women, and she's moving it to the 2-parent household of lesbians to a single father, when we were comparing if a man or a woman are better parents.
You are actually right.
She's moving the goalpost.
It doesn't go.
No, I'm not going. No, he's not right. No, he's not right. Because let me get in here. I got to turn my camera because I was getting the data. No, he's not. This is the thing. There's still studies being done on the effects of same parenting or the results same parenting. However, the data that is being I want to listen. The data that's being used saying that 2-parent households fare better than one single includes gays and lesbians. Therefore, you can't put it on gender. Not with this data, maybe with your feelings. The data you're using says that a single parent, whether mother or father, does not fare as well as a 2-parent. In that data that when they did all the studies and the census, the research, there are homosexual married couples included in the 2-parent household. Now, I'm getting that for you.
Can you tell me the topic? Can you tell me the topic of what we're debating, please?
Yes. The topic is are men better parents?
Then
are men better parents than women?
Than a woman. Is a man better parents than a woman, right? So why are we comparing
my premise
we're comparing
is
a woman
that
to a
there is no gender. I said no because there's no gender.
No. So
it's not based on gender.
No. So the prompt is: are men better parents than women? How do lesbian couples that are 2 people being better than the single parent that is a man? How is that relevant to the prompt?
Because if you Google I have about 50 articles I have to go through to get this, and I have it. This information about who was involved in the census. Even you can do it now. If you Google 2-parent households consensus bureau, gays, they are included in the data. So if they're included,
Fatty, if she wants to do this, we can do it.
Just one second. This is a 1-to-1 comparison. Man versus woman. Okay. Either we do single man versus single woman. Either we do lesbians versus gays.
Yes.
Like no, it doesn't work that way.
The only.
It doesn't work that way.
One
no,
second.
It doesn't work that way.
One second. Napah, stop.
He needs help from Fatty.
Napah, stop. What? I'm going to read the prompt. Man, y'all. One second. Y'all can call me biased because y'all decided the prompt. I'm just here to hosting it. Y'all let the meeting and y'all decide. Men are better parents than women. There's 2 possible ways we can debate this topic. Single male parent better than the single female parent, or 2 male parents, which is a gay couple, better than 2 lesbian couples. How am I wrong, Napah?
Okay, now let me get back to this. Because you're wrong, because you're trying to take it to another debate. I'm not debating if 2 lesbians are better than 1 man. Oh my God, this is crazy. Don't cut me. I feel like somebody's gonna cut me off. 2-parent households on paper say that children do better. Doesn't matter if they're 2 men, 2 women, man, woman. Facts say, statistics say, 2-parent households, children do better. My argument is doesn't matter sex, but he says it's men. Doesn't matter gender. He says it is. The facts don't say, well, if it's a lesbian, it says 2-parent households. Compared to what? Compared to 1-parent household. It doesn't matter if it's a father or a mother. These are the facts. The facts say that when children have 2 parents, they do better. There's still research being done. If that is the facts, I can argue, which I am, that if there's two lesbians facing one male that's a father, then the facts say that two parents, even though they're two women, are better. That's why you don't do gender. That's why my debate is that he's wrong. That's my premise. You cannot say men are better than women as parents, because no empirical data will show you that anybody's gender makes them a better parent. However, the data that he's using data that measures homosexual parents in a marriage as two parents, and it says they are, the facts, the research is saying two-parent household children do better. Am I saying that lesbians are better than one man? No, but his argument is saying that gender matters, and so I'm saying no, it's not.
So this is why let's assume that I actually give you your argument. That argument will be redundant because two men raise kids better than one woman. You see what I'm saying? Even if I consider your argument, which I won't, because if we are doing man and woman, I can say 7 men raise kids better than 3 women. 10,000 women can raise kids better than 2 men.
Now I'm debating you.
Napa, 1 second, because this is my time. Remember, 30 minutes.
Okay,
the Q&A,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If I would granted that 2 lesbians are better parents than a single dad, I can flip it and say 2 men are better parents than a single woman, which will be a stalemate. So the argument is irrelevant. So why are we discussing this?
Do you see how you said the argument is irrelevant? So it's gender, a bomb drop. Gender is irrelevant. No, listen, gender is irrelevant.
Now 1 second, Napa. We are saying we are doing numbers. Is 10 bigger than 1?
No, 10 is. I mean, yes, 10 is bigger than 1.
It's just numbers. If I have 2 arms and 2 legs, and I get another person, now we have 4 arms and 4 legs. And if I get another person, we have 3 brains, 6 arms, and 6 legs. It's just a numbers game. Why are you bringing that up?
Because the way I'm going to answer you thoroughly. The research that's showing who does better in parenting is not based on sex. It never has been. It's not based on you're better if you are a man or woman. They're looking at the dynamic and the nuclear family, which has been broken due to what we've talked about, welfare, MGTOW, people not wanting to be married. So they're looking at the actual base when people did better with a nuclear family. When they do the research, nuclear family means 2 parents and a child. Traditionally, it's been mother, father, child. But now there is 2 parents, mom, dad, child. In the research, it's saying that 2 parents, that's why we're doing the numbers, do better than 1 parent.
How is that
That's
relevant
the
to the prompt? How is that relevant to
I want to get
our
that.
man?
I want to finish this off, please.
Yes, I did up. How is that relevant to men are better parents than women?
It's relevant because he is comparing. He came out and said a single father does just as well as a 2-parent household. He brought it out. I said, wait,
but that's not the prompt. No, that's not the prompt.
The prompt is, are men better parents than women? My premise is no, because there is no gender ascribed to your good parenting. It depends on the person. However, when we look at parenting now we're going into parenting. We're moving away from that silliness of gender. What? That's just a MGTOW manosphere cult tactic. There is no sex, and this is and sociologists and psychologists back me on this. There's no sex ascribed to good parenting. But he used data to try to say, look at how many bad moms, that there's bad moms households, but look at these 2-parent. He said single father households should be compared to 2-parent households. I brought out that the data is showing that lesbians and gay men are being studied in that parenting information. So it's not irrelevant.
And that's perfect. So gay parents that are male and lesbian parents that are male are doing a good job, right?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. It's two-parent households.
So if gay parents are doing a good job, I'm giving everything you said face value, and lesbian women are doing their job too. How is it relevant? Both of those groups are doing a good job.
The relevancy is we're talking about parenting, and data shows who's better parents, two parents or single parents. That's the data that's crucial.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Napa, and this is now I'm going to start to answer questions. I'll open the panel in 10 minutes. Napa, are gay parents better? Do gay parents have better results than lesbian parents?
If they are married and they are raising the child.
1 second.
No.
I'm the moderator, and
why would I say something that silly?
1 second.
Why would I say something that silly?
Napa, I'm a moderator, and I'm going to close the question, so there's no running from you and Ali. Okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're talking about two-parent household. I don't care if these people are married, as long as they're living together and the kid wake up to two parents in the house. Yes. Are gay male parents have better results than lesbian parents?
Gay male parents that are married, men, and gay women parents.
I will repeat it again. I'll repeat it again.
No, because
I'll repeat.
By the way, I'm talking about data. I'm talking about data.
Napa, can you stop doing that? Listen to what I'm saying. Don't rephrase.
I am listening to you. It's a ridiculous question.
So Napa, don't rephrase my questions. It's not about marriage.
Go ahead.
Two-parent households, meaning these kids are waking up and they have two parents in their house under the same roof.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not marriage.
Yeah.
My question is, who is having better results? These kids are having better results raised by who? Gay parents or lesbian parents?
It's exactly the same according to the data. According to the data.
I'll because I can debate. I will leave it at that. Okay. Ali, question on this situation too. You value statistics to prove that men are having better results than women when it comes to raising these kids. Is that correct? Is that a correct statement?
More about the quality of the human being. I think overall the stats show that the heterosexual families and gay families overall have the same amount of success in relationships based off of the support and the financial success in the household, but they're not speaking on the quality of the people in the relationships.
How do you measure that?
So there are studies where they did with biological kids versus the adopted kids, and they were saying that there was different in outcomes with the way the kids had identity issues, trust issues, or the feelings of belonging, like different ways they were impacted versus the
how do you measure the quality of the kid thing?
No, so I'm using the wrong word when quality, when I mean by the way that the life impacts the kid that doesn't have the biological mother and fathers versus the kids, the way they view on life and how they react to life based when they have adopted parents, parents who aren't their adopted.
How do you measure that?
So when they did researches on kids and the way they view themselves as adolescents and how they look at life, of how they're looking at life at the current moment. I'd have to look a little bit more on the.
So let me
reframe
so you can understand, right? We say that male fathers have better results than single mothers because their stats show that these kids have better outcomes. Is analytics. These kids go less to jail. These kids get they get better grades in school. These kids, we have all these stats, right?
Right.
My question will be, if you agree, if you're using these as your statement, if this is a definitive statement, this is look at how these kids are doing and all these metrics compare with how they've been, all the metrics that they've been raised by. Okay, is that fair assessment then, right?
Yes, but what I'm saying is that it seems like the stats are biased. Like they don't want to give, when you told me some of this information are good, given politically correct answers. It's like they're saying that the heterosexuals and gay parents and lesbian parents outcome is typically similar. That's what they're saying.
Thank you.
But we know when you look at the way fathers raise children, when mothers raise children, when parents would admit that the quality of the kid's life is impacted by fatherless homes more so than fatherless homes, more so that is almost equivalent to the two-parent household, because the way father acts with his children when he's a single father versus the way mother behaves with her children when she's a single mother. So they'll show how impactful or detrimental can be when the father is there or away, but they won't be honest about what happens whether the kids raised in a two-parent household with heterosexual parents or gay and lesbian parents.
My second question will be, who would you rather have raising a young child? Two gay parents or a single mother?
Who would I rather have?
Yes, and we're talking about the kids, about
Yes.
the you and the kid. Who would you rather
Yes.
have raising the kids?
A
A single mother or two gay parents?
A single mother, the biological mother.
Can you elaborate that?
So
please?
so this is what I mean, right? Kids tend to, when they base success on the kid's life, that's not the same thing at all. NAPAH. The kids,
Oh my God.
the way the kid's life is impacted by them having their biological mother or father in their life, or they don't have them in their life. So I'd rather the kid have their actual biological parent in the house, at least one of them, than two people in their life that aren't their biological parents. And that's what I mean by when they're looking at a lot of the people that's going to in mental health, a lot of people that's receiving therapy, a lot of them have traumatic experiences because they don't have they don't have the biological one of the biological parents in their household, or two of the biological parents in their household. So can the kid be successful when it comes to education, when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to being successful in the future in the way they develop in life? Yes, but they have traumatic experiences, and a lot of these kids have mental issues because they don't have the biological parents in their household. So if I had to pick who should be in their lives, I would pick one of the parents that's their biological parent over a gay parent, two gay parents.
Can I say something?
You're on mute, Patty. You're on mute.
No, 1 second, because I have questions for you. You guys can interview each other. You have 2 hours to do that.
I do want to comment, though. Can I not comment on that?
You are going to comment, and he's going to reply, and then you're going to reply, and then it's going to reply.
Okay, I'll comment during my answer.
And let me add one more thing.
Y'all will have a chance to do closing statements. Please write it down.
Let me add one more thing too. In being in mental health, most of the kids would rather, even if they're going through struggle, even if they're living check to check, even if there's things they can't get in their life, that they're with at least one of the parents, one of their biological parents. Most of these kids that I come across, teenagers, adults that have issues, was the fact they didn't have the actual family members in their lives, the mother or the father. And when I come across these kids, when they're asking for who they want in their life, it's never two mommies, it's never two daddies. It's always, I wish I had my daddy in my life if daddy wasn't there, and they wish they had their mother in their life if their mother wasn't there. Most of the things that's pushed on the kids is societal to make a lot of LGBT parents comfortable with raising a kid. And not saying they can't help with raising a kid if people are abandoning them, but most people having issues, traumatic issues or mental issues, because they don't have the mother or the father in their life.
So my question to NAPAH is a stepdad more important than a stepmom?
No. Can I elaborate on something or no?
Yes, and if you mention, if you're going to talk about the outcome of the child, right? Because we're talking about what our opinion about men and women. This is about the child. Is a stepdad more important than a stepmom? You said no. Why do you say that, NAPAH?
Okay, I will, but can you repeat the topic, the prompt of the debate?
The prompt is men are better parents than women.
Okay, great. Okay, my premise, no, a stepdad is not better than a stepmom, and a stepmom is not better than a stepdad. But in society today...
One second, just 1 second. I said more important. Importance a lot of times is not better. If a baby is born, your importance as a woman is more because you give titty to the baby, right? So you might not be better than the man, but you are more important. So is a stepdad more important than a stepmom? Go ahead, uninterrupted.
Right. A stepdad is not more important than a stepmom, and a stepmom is not more important than a stepdad. Children need both. They need two parents, and they need more. It's more complex, but they need I know this sounds cliche, but it takes a village to raise a child. That is why we see a lot of success rates with gay parents, because they have more community involvement. Like they get together, they have male, female father figures, mother figures coming in and helping. With the single mother household, with this data that we're looking at, she's literally on her own. And she's become a pariah in society because all this rhetoric pushed, because the resentment about women in the feminist movement saying I can do it myself, men started just abandoning them, and now they are impoverished, they're alone, and they become pariahs, and people are saying stay away from them, avoid single moms as like the plague, to let them do it on their own. That's why we have single mother by choice now, with a lot of successful, mostly Caucasian women going to sperm banks and getting children, having children, because men are saying leave them alone, don't be with them. That's the issue. And then these women, by the way, these women who are single by choice, single mother by choice, the stats are coming out that the children are faring better. So it's a community thing. Even though they're raising them single, they're doing better because it's a poverty thing, it's a finance thing, and it is a community thing. We need to look at that and get away. So my point is, my premise was that men are not better parents than women because there is no gender attached to better parenting. And I want to point out that Ali actually gave me the debate. He conceded. He said, I would not have two men raise one child. I would choose a single mom. He literally said that. So he's saying that men are better parents, but you want the child to be with the woman who's a single mom. I just want to point that out. So go ahead. That's the answer to my question. No, there's no more important, and there's no, when it comes to gender, it's who the parent is. It doesn't matter about the child.
Can I answer that question too? Can I answer that question too?
A quick yes, a quick reply, please.
Yes. So you're absolutely wrong. Most of us push two-parent household, and I also push the biological parents to be in their life. Why would I push for two gay men or lesbians to be in this kid's life that's not their biological parents over the single mother who's their biological parent? I want the parent that is
men were better parents.
No, let me.
I thought you said are men. Wait, Ali, are men better parents?
Well, are we talking about because you moved the goalpost to non-biological?
Because you didn't answer the question. Was our stepdads more important than stepmoms?
No, they're not. I said it. I said it and I elaborated.
She won't answer. I'll answer it though. The stepdaddy is better.
I said no, they're not.
You said no. You said they're equal still. You keep saying that the gender doesn't matter and they're equal. So I'm answering that the stepdaddy is better.
Yes.
Can I answer? It's my turn.
Be precise with what my question is. Not better, more important.
The stepdad is usually is more important and better because he's there to take care of the mother and the kids, and usually without any benefits. That's why we call them step crash dummies a lot of times, because they have absolutely no benefit but to take care of the parent. The single mother is usually there for herself, just like the single mother who lost the father of her kids because she keeps putting herself first. A lot of women will tell you now, especially today's modern women, they don't want to date a single father because the single father won't make them number one, and they don't like the fact that the kids have to come before she does. Stepdads don't mind being number three, where women, whether they're single mothers or stepmamas, still want to be number one over the man or over the kids. So I'll put the stepdaddy over the stepmama too.
I'm going to NAPAH for 2 questions and Ali for 2 questions. Okay, the panel opens in 5 minutes. If you don't have nobody, we're about to go to NAPAH, eat some burgers. NAPAH, on the man and woman are equally responsible for creating single mother-led homes. You keep talking about MGTOW, men going their own way. What is the percentage of men that you think are actually going their own way and not dealing with women whatsoever? Just a guess. You don't have to give me statistically. Just a guess.
I couldn't say. I will say that social media has a great impact on everyone's lives universally. So I don't know. I couldn't put a number on that. I don't really like
giving like a ballpark, like less than 10%, less than 20%, less than 50%,
going their own
less
way?
than 70%.
Oh, yeah. Well, according to the research showing about single father homes, I'd say right now about 20% we have single father homes. So that's the only way I could base it. 20%.
Yes. I just want to make sure that MGTOW is not about single fathers. MGTOW a lot of times is about not even entertaining women, don't cohabitate, don't make babies, all of that.
Wouldn't that be single fathers though?
No, because
don't live with her. Don't be around her.
NAPAH, don't tell that to nobody. But I'm technically MGTOW. I don't have no kids.
I knew
I
it.
don't live
I
with a
knew
woman,
it.
and I'm not married with a woman. I actually am helping not creating single mother households by actually getting off the game. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the MGTOW is not I left my family. The MGTOW a lot of times is I went my way and I didn't establish no paternity,
For you,
no kids,
sir.
no nothing.
Fatty, for you. But there, MGTOW started. A lot of men were married when MGTOW really took place, like in the 2000s, the early 2000s. Men were married and saying, "Don't engage with these women," and they start teaching men like you, younger men, "Hey, don't make my mistake. Don't even get married." But at first, they were married. They were married.
Jolly, just 1 second. Those are not single mothers. Single mothers are women that got kids out of wedlock. You are a divorcee or a widow. Is not a single mother. We don't count single mother.
No. You got to
If
do
you
the
are
research,
a divorcee, nobody's going to call you single mother. If you are a married woman that got divorced, or if you are a widowed, you are not a single mother. You are a single mother if you have a kid outside of wedlock.
No, my friend. According to that's why I said, did y'all look at this stuff the research out there? The information, that stuff about 70% of divorce and single fathers all over the internet. We got people saying, I'm not going to name them. Big, really well-known people are saying single fathers do just as well as two-parent households. Single fathers do better than single mothers. That data, Fatty, is going by divorced mothers, legally divorced, women who haven't been married, and women who live solo, as well as women who are living with the father. So yeah, single mothers are divorcees. You got to go look at the research.
I'll leave that. Ali, anything that you want to say very quick, Ali, about this?
She's making it seem like men just went their own way with that movement. Wasn't that in response to men responding to women who no longer needed men and picked their independence over the man, and they were in fear of losing their assets and losing their marriages and their families? That's why they started going their own way. It was in response to women going their own way.
You asked me?
No, the actual.
No,
I can answer.
It's a NAPAH first, and you for clarification as well too.
Yes.
I could have sworn that MGTOW was not men just wanting to leave women alone. It's the risk that was coming from today's women that were picking themselves over the family, and even if they got married to the women, their assets would be compromised and their families would be compromised. Then men pushed the MGTOW. They didn't do it just to say we want to stay away from women. They chose it from them. They made the movement to keep from being compromised from independent women.
Go ahead, NAPAH, very quick, and then I'll have to keep going. Go ahead, NAPAH.
Yeah, here it is. I'm looking at one of the papers in ResearchGate. Anti-feminism, MGTOW. It sprouted out of the feminism movement with the manosphere. You asked me a question. The manosphere came out of men's equal rights movement as a response to the second wave of feminism. MGTOW came out of the men's equal right movement. So no, it wasn't just women leaving them first. They responded to men not having equal rights. Feminism, second wave of feminism was going radical crazy, just like MGTOW now, and manosphere is going crazy. It's not about people's sex and gender. It's about sociological issues. So no, MGTOW came out of manosphere, men's equal rights, but they were radical. They were radical.
But by the way, NAPAH, do you think the Black Panthers was a terrorist organization?
I'm not answering. Why are you asking me that?
It's because what you're reading is kind of like the secretary, like the Minister of Defense, pointing out MGTOW as terrorists, like incels, people that do manifestos, all these things, right? This is actually categorized by the FBI.
No, this isn't from any of those websites. This is from a paper from Jialang Lin on ResearchGate. It's very reputable. She did a lot of research. She went in and she interviewed men from MGTOW. Now, this is not a biased. I don't do that with my sources. Yeah.
Let me ask you the second question I had for you. Right. Throughout history, only 40% of men reproduce and 80% of women reproduce. When we ask men and women are equally responsible for creating single mothers-led home, introducing these numbers, how can you defend that statement?
Because when you use the word reproduce for either one, they both had to do it equally. That's an act that two people equally are responsible for.
So Napa, if I have sex with 3 women, how many baby mamas I created?
Depends on how many got pregnant.
I impregnated 3 of them.
So each of you are responsible for that act.
No. If I impregnate 3 women, how many baby mamas I created?
Each of you are responsible for you and her having the baby. What do you mean?
I have no problem with that, Napa. Mr. ILKAN Ali, I have another question for you. Other than IVF, can a woman get pregnant without a man? This is about the men and women are equally responsible for creating single mother-led homes.
Yes.
Other than artificial insemination, can woman get pregnant without a man?
No, sir. Women cannot get pregnant without men.
Does
So let me add to it. Women can't get pregnant without men, but the problem is she has the choice of what to do if she gets pregnant. She has the choice of allowing the man to be able to go inside of her. She has the choice of allowing the man to wear a condom or not wear a condom. So before the man can get her pregnant, before the man can release inside of her, she has to make the choice of allowing the man to go inside of her. Go ahead.
Did the man knew that he wasn't married to that woman when he had sex with her?
Yes, he did.
Did the man know the consequences of sex?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The problem is when it comes to responsibility, like the data you just used, most men can't get access to women. So most men would try to have sex with women, but women can get sex with whoever they want from typically, or get more access to sex more than men can. So they control access to sex more than women. I'm not saying men aren't equally responsible when it comes to having sex, but when it comes to making single mothers is where we're coming to. If women married before they carried, there wouldn't be no single mothers. That's where I'm getting to, where most men don't have access to women, and women are selective of the man they let inside of them. So we do have responsibility. A man does have responsibility, some responsibility of having sex and her getting impregnated, but she picks who gets to impregnate her. She gets to pick who becomes the father, and she gets to pick whether a baby comes into this world or not. And she gets to pick whether she marries, and she gets to pick when she marries, and she gets to pick if she wants to divorce or not to become a single father, a mother, and make him a single father.
Last question, and thank you very much for answering my questions.
Yes, sir.
Your statement was if woman didn't have sex with this man, there wouldn't be no single mothers. Fair statement? Is a correct statement?
Yes.
If men didn't have sex with this woman, would that be any single mothers?
No, there wouldn't be any single mothers. But if all men wanted to have sex with women and they said they didn't want to have sex with men, there'd be nothing we can do about it. Just like we can't do nothing about the current market, because like the great philosopher Fatty told us that the great philosophy from his country said, men control the world, but women control men.
Friends, I'll give you final thoughts for both of y'all. Thank you very much for giving us your time. There's 340 people watching. Please like the video where you're at. Make sure the cash apps are all on the bottom. NAPAH and ILKAN Ali gave us a great show. So please go ahead and drop the cash app. Make sure that they see y'all cash app in the bottom. The cash apps are pinned at the top too. I have a link for people that have smoke. Only for people that have smoke. Please, for the people that have smoke, be very precise. Don't pull up and do nothing funny, okay? If we don't have nobody in 4 or 5 minutes on the back, we close it out and we go about our business on this beautiful Saturday. ILKAN Ali, since NAPAH gave us the opening statement, please go ahead and give us your closing statement, please, before we go to her.
I would like to say that I didn't want to do this to NAPAH, but somebody's got to do it. Shout out to NAPAH for taking on this debate, for having tough skin and engaging in this debate as well too, without playing victim the whole entire debate. She had to do it one time, and that's okay. We let you get away with that one. You get a get out of jail free card with that one. I also want to acknowledge NAPAH. As much as you wanted to debate, you dodged a lot of questions, but that's okay. It comes with the debate. And if that's your form and strategy to derail and deflect from the conversation, you can have at it. But it's not going to allow you to win a lot of debates, NAPAH, if you don't address what the person is saying, nor if you're answering any questions as well too. But I appreciate it, NAPAH. Shout out to NAPAH. Shout out to one of the legends, her husband, Sanetta. I hope he's watching as well too. Much love to both of them. And shout out for making this a great debate as well too. You know, I appreciate you taking the time out to come over here and debate with us. And shout out to the untouchables, and shout out to the chat, and shout out to the thinkers, and shout out to the truth tellers worldwide who love these type of conversations with us. And shout out for Fatty for throwing a great productive debate as well too, man. Shout out to your production.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nobody does it better.
Untouchable empire, baby.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
At your order, sir. You told me to do it. I have to do it. Very submissive, Fatty. Napa. Final thoughts, and don't forget to promote the second debate because it's going to be a double header, and it's going to be more confrontation coming in. So Napa, thank you very much. Before we actually say goodbye, final thoughts. What you thought about the debate and final considerations.
I want to say it was great. Thank you so much, Ali, for doing this. You know, I'm gonna chill out on the. No, I gotta say it. I busted your pinata. I was gonna try to keep it a little nicer, but it was fun though. It's fun getting in here. I always like coming over here, dealing with the untouchable empire, even though, you know, it is a manosphere climate. I'm ready for it. I do have tough skin. Thank you to Fatty, as always, very professional, always on point. Thank you to the audience. I do want to now talk about my closing. The debate that we had, the two different prompts were, are men and women equally responsible for single parent homes? I brought out data. I brought out primary sources, Pew Research, Census Bureau, different articles, things that happened historically, from the second wave of feminism onto the no-fault divorce, then the MGTOW influencing, bringing everything to a head, saying leave these women alone, divorce, no matrimonial, extra matrimonial sex and bringing forth children. All of that was laid out on the table to show that it isn't a battle of the sexes. It is a societal issue, and it is both parties involved in the society, which are men and women. Then with the thing of, we went further, which I love how the two topics kind of, correlate. We talked about who's a better parent, men or women? Again, it doesn't go by gender. I will say this once, and I've said it a million times, not literally. Gender, there is no empirical data showing that because of your sex, your biological gender, you are a better or a worse parent. So throughout the debate, I like how my brother comes in with the gaslighting, saying, you didn't offer anything. You didn't answer anything. We've been up here for almost 3 hours. I hope I did something. So it was fun. I put the data out there. Sex is not a determinant of you being good or bad as a parent. And sex does not, there's not only one gender that is responsible for these broken homes. Let's get back together. Let's prioritize children, because children are our future, whether that sounds like a cliche or not. Nuclear families are important. 2 parents raise children. Doesn't matter gender. I like to run the clock down.
Can I say something a little bit more since she ran the clock down?
I ran it down.
Fatty, you on mute. You on mute, Fatty. You on mute.
Ali, 30 seconds, Ali.
Thank you. You know what the problem was? Is I used you used empirical data. I use imperative data. So you would have won if you used imperative data.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
One more thing about data, right? And you saying there's no data. Men are stronger. Men are bigger. Men typically apply more logic, and they're more emotionally available and emotionally intelligent as well too. And Napa, if you need somebody to listen, whether it's a woman, man, or kid, a man's typically able to get the person to listen and enforce it more so than a woman. So you can say there's no data, but experience, nature shows that men are more likely to get someone to listen and more likely to be able to enforce it, whether it's a man, woman, and children. I hope you can rebuttal that one.
Can you give me can you show me a source, an actual source? Talking about empirical. Show me a source for that.
They are going to do this. They are going to do this on the second leg on NAPAH SADAH.
NAPAH addicted to getting cooked.
They're going to do this on the second part today. I'll have the honor to kick both NAPAH and my brother from the show. So once again, thank you very much for being here. Get the hell out of house. Appreciate you.
This is Sparta!
Friends, I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ali, if you have any cash app, let me know so I can acknowledge it. Murray, thank you very much. He says, thank you for the show. I appreciate you. James says, icebreaker donation. Thank you for the show. I appreciate you. And my boy Babwork says, Ali Boo Ma Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me read the super chats and send everybody to Cami. Day live, 21 million pre-birth deletions in the Black community. The question should be, if she had pre-birth deletion, then children later, is she a good mother? Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Would that she keep repeating the title for what? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have Cool Kev. It says, women don't pressurize children. If they did, they would get married first and stay committed to that marriage. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another one. But Ali, 54% of Black men do not have children. LOL. 36% of Black men are married. 1.1 million don't even have a Black man DNA in their creation. Am I slow? LOL. They live or they leave, one or the other. I think it's they live. Full drinking out thinking. What's up? He says, yo. Thank you very much. Zero fallout in the building. It says another cabana pa. She inflating lesbian couple numbers. Their numbers are so low, it's insignificant. 2 incomes will always beat 1 income. Thank you very much. Big in the building saying there's a lie of women have a lot of their family help them, then act like they're doing by themselves. People are most likely to help women. And then we have Mr. B Go Tree saying there's a lie. Woman. Okay, I already read this one. I appreciate you, sir. And my boy Zero Fallout, last but not least, he says, like Ferry said, many of themselves is framed as terrorists. Have NAPAH sent those studies. 80% of psychologists are women. Most of them drug up on AdMeds. Friends, I appreciate y'all. We're going to Princess Cami. Once again, thank you very much to ILKAN Ali. Thank you very much to NAPAH. Round 2 coming soon tomorrow. Ladies first at 10 p.m. Team Fatty, NAPAH, ILKAN Ali, and the Untouchables signing out with my X-Man song. Join the Patreon. Peace.
Welcome to the Saturday SmackDown. 5 p.m. EST. The main event is live. Untouchable Empire. We ready for war. I is Wolverine. NAPAH is Rogue. Let's get it. Let's get it.
The track, I'm a savage, untouchable empire. Yeah, we cause damage. Fatty hit the time and now I'm jumping in the cage, slicing up your whole life, pure psychotic rage. 5 p.m. hitting and the tension is insane. Look me in my face, boy, I'm bringing all the pain. Best at what I do, yeah, I'm running this town. Step into the pit, get stomped to the ground.
Saturday SmackDown, we bringing the fight.
Super rap banger.
We shutting down the night. Untouchable Empire.
We taking the crown.
Massive aggression.
We burning it down. Hit the bass, hit the synth, scream.
We killing the stage.
The ultimate team. You got power, you got power. You got power, ultimate team. Think you got power, boy, I touch you in his mind. Sucking at your soul, yeah, I'm crossing every line. I ain't talking crazy, but your bars real weak. Saturday SmackDown, I'm the monster that you see. Fatty, get the clock ticking. Time is running out, put you in a chokehold, leave you in a doubt. Untouchable queen, yeah, I'm holding the throne. Step into my set to get broke to the bone.
You can't touch the Empire. I'm built for the kill.
I take everything you got.
Testing your skill.
The tension is peak. We swinging the weapon.
You empire.
We taking the crown.
Massive aggression.
We burning it down.
Hit a bass hit.
Hit us and scream.
We killing the stage.
The ultimate team.
Showdown. The smoke clears away.
Fatty shuts it down.
Nothing left to say.
Untouchable empire.
Smackdown over.
All the comments would be fatty McFat, fat, fatty, 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 fat, fat. Oh, look how fat he is, right? Look at that fatty. You know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And